Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Cocainum.
Up yours. Woke moralist.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralist.
up.
Not only can you take a load, you can take the ultimate load, and even better than that you find your true calling and destiny in your willingness to take the ultimate load.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals. Up yours.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped
Woke
Ben
moralist.
Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Have it your way, buddy. You sons of bitches. I did everything right and they indicted me.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like?
We'll see who cancels who.
Whoa.
Oh! David, I added him, and then you unadded him, and then I added that, and then you so you're back.
I thought I was adding him, and then I figured Binder was like unadding himself or something.
Whoa, what's happening?
That's just not me now.
I love how we both waited so the other could just add him, and then we both do it at the same time. It gets so
And
funny.
then I realized, yeah, he could probably add himself. I don't have to do this. Like,
I actually think neither of you did it. I added myself, and then
Oh,
one
really?
of you unadded me.
Yeah, I think all three of us were clicking you at the same time, and it was just
We're just pressing
whatever.
the same button over and over again. That's amazing.
How did you make it in time? Just in like,
The nick of time, man. It's
I think last
late.
week it was the same thing. You came in during the
Seconds
intro.
to
Yeah.
spare.
Just got back
And
from
Rebecca is joining us today, to everyone who's wondering.
Yes, Rebecca will be here.
Perfect. Yeah, just got back
Are
from
the,
my soccer practice. Well, listening
Mets
to the
playing?
Yankees Guardians game while then moving on to the Mets Dodgers game. Oh my God.
They still
A
going?
lot happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yankees
I've been
are about
praying
to
for
sweep the
them,
Guardians,
so
it
you're
looks like.
welcome.
But the Mets have been blowing it. But they won one game. They're down one game. If they win
I saw
today,
the Grand
they tie
Slam.
the series up.
I tuned in for that.
The
that was
Grand
fun.
Slam from what, 2 games ago?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool. Have there
See,
been more
when the
Grand
Mets
Slams
when
since
the
then?
Mets win, they squeak by like by the skin of their teeth or whatever the phrase is, and they just win. Like they pull off some like amazing last inning feat. When they lose, they get absolutely blown out. They've in the 2 games they lost in the series with the Dodgers, they lost 9-0, then 8-0. I mean, I don't get what's going on with them.
Yikes.
Oh,
Well, enough
it's been a
sports
busy
talk.
week.
I could talk about the Leafs, but it's the beginning of the season, so it's okay.
You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time. When it's time, I'll be happy to have that conversation with you.
Oh, I cannot wait. Hopefully, I can't wait. Hopefully, it's good news.
Sounds good.
So, how's everybody this week?
Fantastic.
Not bad. Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Hanging in there. It's election season, and we all have brain rot, or at least I do, and I feel okay. But you all?
I frame rap, but I'm okay. Yeah, no, me too. I just feel like there's so much stupid online that I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. Like there's so much of it. Like that Asmongold story this week, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even want to touch this. This guy's so fucking stupid. And then he apologized, but then in the comments he took back the apology. I don't even know what's going on.
Did he
like, I'm trying to
really?
there's certain
He
things
never
I'm like,
apologized to
I have to
Palestinians.
decide not to think and cover this or read about this. Like I can't absorb it all. Otherwise I just like start melting into the floor.
He basically apologized to like his fan base that was upset by the backlash. I think that was like the majority of it.
But I watched his.
I thought I heard that he had some like really good, sincere apology. What are you saying? He
It
backed off
seemed
of it?
I
good.
felt like it was
Who said
sincere.
that?
And then no, he did apologize. Like I saw like a short clip.
He starts by saying that what he said wasn't racist. He said, "I was being an asshole. My bad." Right. And I'm not here to be like we shouldn't have a door open for him to like be a better person. I want him to be a better person, but like the shit that he was saying was fucked up and racist. Like you have to at least acknowledge that at like the very bare minimum level.
No, I mean there's a video of it. The video was different, though. The first apology was ridiculous.
I watched the entire video yesterday, like start to finish, all the entire thing. Yeah.
So he didn't apologize. What happened?
He apologized. He apologizes in like the little bit of the middle to basically upsetting his fans. It's like it's way more like, and to people who are upset, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I was an asshole, and I shouldn't have been an asshole. That is basically the response, right? But it's like you were straight up saying that this was an inferior culture deserving genocide. Like that's pretty extreme. It's not like whoopsie. My bad. I'm just being an asshole. I was being rude online.
Yeah, I mean, what he said was really serious. Having said that, I think that his apology did come off as sincere to me. And even though, like, I agree that he should have said it was racist and he didn't, and he just chalked it up to him being an asshole, I think that he's too stupid to actually understand the depths of how fucked up what he said was. But to me, the reason why I think that it came off as genuine was because he did seem genuinely introspective, and none of us know. We'll have to judge him by the content that he creates going forward, not that I'll be there to watch it. But he was talking about how over the past couple of years, he's just devolved into this psychotic version of himself where he's mean-spirited, and his dad has been telling him to cool it, and he hasn't been listening. So this kind of led to this mea culpa where he thinks that he should be doing better and is going to try to do better, and he's even going to clean his room and start making original content. So the ban, in some way, to him, felt like this wake-up call. Again, we'll judge him by his actions. And even he said, to be fair, judge me by the content that I put out going forward. One thing that worries me about this is
I
that
have content already of him going forward. I posted it in the chat. He made a
For anyone confused, we're talking about this guy here. If anyone's seen this guy's face before. And if you've also been confused as to why he has an audience, you're not alone.
Yeah, we're all confused by that.
Confused.
We're all confused.
Judge me not by the content I previously made, but by the content I put out going forth.
Yeah. He could return to homeostasis. It could be like Trump, where after Trump's assassination attempt for 2 days, he was seemingly a little bit more cool-headed and tame, and then went right back to the dickhead he always was. My assumption is Asmongold is going to do that too. But in the moment, he actually.
Well, Mike, here's a new post he just wrote. He wrote this firsthand post apology video.
Oh, he wrote this.
Yeah.
The vibes and feel of the stream recently has been a lot more tense, and a lot of that is my fault. If you think that means my first stream back is going to be...
You should read it from the start. Just avoid the slurs if you're doing that.
There's slurs in here, too.
I don't want to read this whole... We don't have to give this guy this much time.
Now I'm curious. Okay. It just starts out. Okay. Because it was...
Oh, okay, yeah.
I did not... Because it was R-worded to use Palestinians interchangeably with religious fanatics and terrorists. Obviously, not all people in Palestine are trash. It's really... Okay, wow.
Some, I assume, are good people.
Wow. Okay, ridiculous. Well, you know what? Having not known that much about him, the apologies seem genuine, but this is giving me some doubts. It's not really that complicated. Also, it wasn't just that issue. Don't let yourself become ideologically captured by a worldview to the point where it makes you so unreasonable that you turn into what you're fighting against. No one wins when I stand behind a statement that's false or a mischaracterization. My fucking dad told me over a year ago I was getting too harsh on my stream, and I ignored him. Same with a lot of real life friends. I think so. This is in response to backlash from his community. This is how. By the way, this is how audience capture happens, because you try to course correct, and then they badger you into going right back to the dickhead that you once were. So take note, everybody, because this is how people become assholes on the internet. Yep. I think I've been increasingly hostile and negative. That brings a bad vibe to the stream. A good comparison, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero playthrough versus Wulong playthrough. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I want more sparklings. Okay, I know nothing about that context. The vibes and feel of the stream recently has been a lot more tense, and a lot of that is my fault. If you think that means my first stream back is going to be me playing Dustborn and promoting Sweet Baby. Okay, so he's still going to be anti-woke, okay. I think you'll be very disappointed. I'm not changing anything other than trying to be more positive and less mean-spirited.
And
Also,
if he skips to the
sponsored.
next one, you'll see him basically say DEI equals die.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
On
I'll
my
react to
first day
DEI
back.
equal die gaming. First day back. Okay, so it was all a ruse. Never mind.
Well,
Okay.
it was
Well,
I think maybe it was genuine until he saw who his audience is and realized if he wants to continue having an audience, then he's, at least the audience that he has, he's got to continue being the person that he was or is. So
you know what? I
gotta be. I said when I saw it, like him say this, and I think I might have said this when you guys have brought him up before. Like, I get even why certain streamers who I don't like, don't agree with, straight up dislike. I get why many of them are big and famous and have a big fan base and are rich. Again, I don't agree with them, but I get the appeal. I see the broadcasting talent they have, or whatever it is.
For XQC.
Yeah. I do not fucking see what people see in this guy.
That's
he's
how
not a good talker.
I get it with other people.
He's not a good talker.
No,
he's not a good talker. He's got no knowledge of anything. I know he's a World of Warcraft guy, fine, but he doesn't fucking make World of Warcraft videos anymore. So the one thing apparently he was good at, he doesn't even do anymore. I do not understand why this guy has an audience. Mr. Beast, I see it. I get. Tim Pool, even, I see it. I get. Alex Jones, Steven Crowder. I see the appeal for some of these guys. I don't see what this guy's got to the table. Not charismatic, got nothing going on.
Genuinely
not a good
gross.
Entertainer, not a good talker.
Yeah,
genuinely
gross.
disgusting.
Gives the squalid
yeah.
filth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see
Maybe
trash
it's just
behind him.
he's I don't want to badger people watching him, but it's probably just his audience. Like they see him in themselves. And like,
but he could do so much good for the world then, if he took a couple rules for life.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be watching him. They're watching him because, hey, this guy's a slob like me. Like that's that's
you think that's the appeal?
That's what I think the appeal is there. It's like, oh, this guy's so relatable. I'm just like him. I also have cockroaches in my room. Like that's kind of what
I too wipe my gum blood on the wall by my bed.
I don't even want to know what that. I've heard you say that before. I don't have the context to it, but it sounds
so, the first time I heard that, I actually got queasy to the point where I felt really sick. I do feel a little bit disappointed in myself because I was watching his video, and at first I was very skeptical. I'm thinking, is this one of those situations where you actually feel bad or you feel bad because this is an issue? Because odds are, if nobody heard you say that or it didn't get clipped, you wouldn't be having this mea culpa. But then I thought, no, Mike, you're too much of a cynical asshole. Maybe give people room to grow. And I'm like, no, you know what? I'm going to assume he is acting in good faith. No, I should have been a cynical motherfucker like I usually am. Because
change, though, I think that would be beautiful. I think if he actually came back and was like, by the way, I learned a lot about this, and he doesn't even have to be aggressive, but just like, I think it's unfair fundamentally what is happening to people under a system of apartheid. Just something like that could mean that
I think that's going to take more than a couple of days to get to that point. Like this could be, honestly, I think he was genuine in his first response. The issue is that he saw the reaction, and like it was the massive backlash that he got, that he felt the need to respond to calm his audience down. Don't worry, I'm still a jerk. Don't worry. Like that's kind of how this comes off to me.
Well, part of the reason why I thought it was genuine was because he started to tear up when he said he felt stupid because people reached out to him when he got the backlash who had family in Palestine, and they were asking him how he was doing. So he thought, wow, this isn't him saying this. This is me, trying to
those white tears, Mike. You can't let them. They're weaponized against you.
The tears get you every fucking time. But I thought, wow, it's nice to know that he feels stupid, and he realizes that you can't generalize people like that. So now, after seeing those posts on Reddit that are very bad, I kind of feel like he's gonna try to be better still, so that way because he already had that whole apology. But he's just not going to meme as close to the sun, but he's still going to be a shitty person in the end. And he's going to revert right back to homeostasis in like 2 weeks tops. So it's disappointing, but at the same time, I will be honest, I am relieved because I don't want to like him. If he actually started to go woke and be a nice person, it would be difficult for me to compliment him because I genuinely find him disgusting.
Yes, I totally empathize with that position. At the same time, I feel like it's less about my feelings and more about he has a massive audience that
That's
you
true.
know, if sure he would probably lose most of them, but if even like a quarter of them would be like turned because he made, you know, a move into the right direction, then it's worth his improvement because he actually has an impact on people. Like this guy is so popular. It's insane to me how popular this guy is. It just doesn't make
It makes no sense, and it's so frustrating because there are so many content creators that put so much time and effort into their video essays and into their videos, just generally speaking. Even you know, if you take 30 minutes to film a video like the Tabernacle, it's not scripted, but he goes through all of his points. It's very nuanced. And then somebody like him can shit out a video where he's just saying "whoa" in reaction to somebody else's video, and it gets 1 million views. And it's just so not a meritocracy, so unfair. And I don't get the appeal. Genuinely, as you all said, it makes no sense why young people would want to watch him, because he doesn't have anything interesting to say, and he's not entertaining. He's not screaming, playing games. He's not playing a horror game and reacting by freaking out. I genuinely don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't think it's a boomer thing. I don't think I'm too old to get it. I just don't get it.
He was a really good World of Warcraft player. That's it, right? That's where he built like a massive audience, being like one of the world's premier WoW players.
Apparently, that's what I heard. I'm unfamiliar with his work, as I was never a fan of World of Warcraft. Warcraft 3, much better.
But I mean, like, I'm a huge fan of Fightin' Cowboy. He's a really big Soulsborne player online, not just Soulsborne games. He's really great. He kicks ass. I watch all of his walkthroughs. If he started to shit on the floor and leave trash around, I don't think I could watch it because it's just gross. And say stupid shit, it would gross me out. I just don't get it.
But he would find a new audience of people who also shit on the floor and leave trash around. So.
Maybe we should just, I'll trash this shit, throw these books on the ground, never ever comb my hair, fucking.
That's got to be a largely online audience too. Like, no wonder these guys get so massive. Like, these people, they're only online. So, you know, if you want to find people that are relatable, or if you want a massive audience, then the people that are always online are going to be there to watch you whenever you're on. Then you have to be as big of a slob as they are. There you go.
Yeah. So Asmongold.
What?
I said we sound like the woke mob.
So the number one comment on his video, somebody screenshotted this and put it on Twitter. It was like 5,000 upvotes. Never bow to the mob, and why? Because we're still canceling him, even though he bowed.
He didn't bow hard enough. He had to bow lower.
If only we had the power to actually cancel anything.
Right. Yeah. There'd be a lot more people canceled. If I could Thanos snap 98% of content creators, I would do that in a heartbeat. And a lot of people on the left would be gone too. If I could just...
I would just start with canceling the YouTube algorithm. That's where you got to start. The way shit, like it... I hate how, like, you know, if you put a caps word, it just have a regular title in your video, but you make one of them caps. I'm not even joking. That like instantly increases the view count
by like 10K
so
views.
Stupid.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I have to like I feed into this do. Like I'm like this word. Like the title isn't the title is the same, but I'm just gonna like caps one of the words and boom, like people are watching it now. Like it's just I've seen it happen in real time. Like I'll post a video with just a normal title. And then it's not doing too well. All right, let me caps this word. All right, there you go. What
do you mean? What do you mean? I'm confused.
You just make a word all caps.
All caps. If you all caps a word, like well, my most recent video isn't a great example of that. I covered Trump. Like I struggle over watching this piece of shit. This video better do well. I fucking hate this loser. This town hall was so terrible, such torturous to watch.
So why aren't we doing that for our streams? Like, why aren't we like titling?
We don't have proper titles.
Mafia episode 95.
No, it's got to be like Matt Bender owns Mike Figueredo in debate about whatever.
I'm seeing it right now.
Kamala surges. That's what PV was doing for a while. And it was really paying off.
Progressive Voices has perfected it.
Yeah.
Trump completely face plants in
That's
Univision
right. Face plants
Hall,
was not it was not all caps at the beginning, and I made it all caps and it improved instantly.
Yeah. It's crazy how that works, and it's so embarrassing. I don't like doing that. But if I don't do that, then the video will bomb, and then as soon as I change it to all caps, one word, it goes up at least 2 in the ranking. So it goes from like 7 out of 10 most viewed to 5 out of 10. It's crazy.
so
Wait, I love this one, David. U.S. talks arms embargo on Israel.
That's another one. I'm like, this is a story that I think people should at least be aware of, and no one's watching this. Oh, now they're watching it because arms embargo. Like, it's, it's so dumb.
I watched your video on that, David. Were you hopeful from the whole thing? Because it depressed me. To me, it just
I'm always
felt
hopeful.
Okay.
Otherwise, why the fuck am I doing anything? If there's no hope, then why am I bothering to read about politics every single day?
It did make me more depressed. I didn't do a video on it because of that. Because I thought it was very cynical. Yeah, I thought it was very cynical, and I don't believe that he's going to follow through. I think it's a pre-election ploy in the same way with the uncommitted, where he talked about, we're going to get a ceasefire by Monday ahead of votes in Michigan during the Democratic Party primaries. I just don't believe him.
Yeah, I mean,
and it
I
makes
didn't
me
talk
depressed.
about like it's going to happen. I'm like, this is, this is more than what they've done before. It is like, it just is more in terms of what they've been saying up to this point. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen, because we've seen up to this point them not do anything, because Israel's already been breaking that provision for the past year. Mm-hmm. So the idea that now it's going to change, at the very least, there will be questions from.
They're not going to do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they killed Sinwar.
I want to see what's going to happen after 3 days. Like, what excuse?
It feels like the mission accomplished phase of the Iraq War now, where it's just like, so the thing you wanted to have happen happens. Because can the genocide end now? Are we going to end the occupation? Like, you killed the leader of Hamas again. By the way, again.
Did you see what Yoav Gallant tweeted today?
Continue.
If you hit translate on the Yoav Gallant tweet, he talks about, yes, we killed him. Now there's still more work to be done. We'll be staying in Gaza for years to come. Hit translate on that tweet by Yoav Golan, everyone. I retweeted it, and it is horrifying. There's just no end in sight. This is the opportunity right now for Biden and Harris to say, okay, it's time to end this. They're not doing that explicitly, and the fact that they're saying we're going to stay for years to come shows me that Israel doesn't believe that Biden is actually going to pull arms from them in 30 days. It's just some election ploy. Maybe Biden communicated that behind the scenes. I have no evidence of that, but that's the sense that I get. I just genuinely don't believe him. And it made me feel hopeless seeing that story. So I'm like, I'm not even going to talk about this, because I feel like I know what Biden is trying to do by this. Like, he's trying to save face a little bit before the election. They're now down in Michigan. Internal polling from Melissa Slotkin is showing that Kamala is straight up underwater in Michigan. On average, she's losing. She's doing worse than Clinton and Biden in aggregate polling data in swing states. So that's what I see when I heard about that story. And it's just, I feel like it's too little too late. Humphrey broke with LBJ, I think it was 5 weeks before the election. That was too late. So we've got 3 weeks to go, and she still hasn't broke with Biden on this. I'm worried, but yeah, she's just not going to. We have to accept that, and I already have. But I'm worried. I hope that she doesn't blow it. Yeah, I don't know. Sucks.
Did any of you watch any piece of the Trump town hall with Univision yesterday?
I watched your video on it.
Oh my god, it is.
I actually
so bad.
didn't. I saw like clips online.
They're worth watching. They're little. Like, they're better than talking about this. Talking about the.
Yeah, here I'll bring up the clips from my video then.
I feel like Trump is just devolving.
It's just, I think because I've I don't like watching Trump a lot, and he hasn't been doing a lot of media, at least media that matters recently. So I've sort of been not really seeing a lot of him. It was just a reminder of how fucking stupid. Like, I know he's stupid, but seeing these answers. And I didn't even show a lot of the overtly racist, ridiculous. Like, that's obvious too. But it's just the way he answers these questions are so stupid. Like, he's such a fucking idiot. Here, I posted one on Twitter. Let me bring that clip up.
At the Harris Faulkner town hall with Fox News, he said that he was the father of IVF when a question came up. And I just can't take it anymore. The prospect of having to watch this asshole for 4 years. I will never forgive Americans if they do this to us.
No.
4 more years of this. I can't take it. I can't take another fucking 2 weeks of it. 4 more years
I
of
thought
this guy.
that town hall where you were seeing the clips of him doing like, Ave Maria, I thought that was just lib porn where people were once again trying to mock something silly. I didn't know it went for 40 fucking minutes. That he stood there for 40 minutes swaying to music.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I think he's like kind of losing it a little bit. Like he's
definitely losing.
Like like Biden losing it. Like he's just his brain's just not there.
I love just that
Wait,
whole
what's the
thing. If
audience?
you watch Christy
Do we
Nolan's
dream of
face, she does not know what the fuck to do. She's so awkward.
Here, this is one of the questions.
Pescando fresa, cortando broccoli.
Good evening, President Trump. For many years, I have worked with these hands, hunched over, picking strawberries and cutting broccoli. This tough job is mainly done by undocumented people. If you deport to these people, who would do that job, and what price would we pay for food?
A lot of the jobs that you have and that other people have are being taken by these people that are coming in, largely.
Okay, let's just stop there for a second. This guy is talking about people in undocumented jobs. He's saying those jobs are being taken by undocumented people. Undocumented people are taking other undocumented people's jobs. Like this, if you just slow down some of his answers and just think about it for a second, he's so fucking stupid. And then this as well, like,
and tremendous numbers coming in out of mental institutions. They're emptying out mental institutions. They're emptying out insane asylums. That's a step above a mental institution. Worse, bigger problem.
That's not a thing. Insane asylum is just like an old version of what a psychiatric hospital is. Like there's not. They don't have like Arkham Asylum and like releasing Joker into the wild.
I thought the same thing. I was like, he's Hugo Strange in the video game. He's releasing everything.
I want to see him just go like off the wall, like just like show that he's blurred reality and fiction. I want him to be like, I was watching TV the other day. Did you know they released the Hangman from Asylum? I was watching the show.
I mean,
on
he
TV,
kind of does that with Hannibal Lecter. He does that with Hannibal Lecter. Is like, these are real stories, folks. Hannibal Lecter. Like he's a fucking imbecile.
Yeah.
Here's another
one. More than one time clarified that the Haitians are not eating their cats and their dogs. Nonetheless, you want to revoke the permit they have to legally reside in this country. My question to you very respectfully is, do you really believe that these people are eating the people's pets?
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. And this was just reported. I was just saying what was reported. That's been reported. And eating other things too that they're not supposed to be. But
let's expand
all I
it.
do is report. I have not. I was there. I'm going to be there, and we're going to take a look. And I'll give you a full report when I do. But that's been in the newspapers and reported pretty broadly.
No, it hasn't. That's what I said. And no, it hasn't. It has not been reported broadly. The opposite is true. It's just I know this stuff is obvious, right? But it's just we lose track sometimes at how fucking insane it is that this guy is a candidate. That this is potentially going again to be the president. Like this guy is fucking insane.
David, do you have the climate change question in here?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god, his answer is amazing. He's like, I've gotten awards for what I've done with the water and the sand.
I don't think I even included that part because the first part was enough for me, but here.
For 30 years, I've been working in the construction industry and building water plants in Florida. I've seen with my own eyes the devastating impacts of climate change. Things that include sea level rise, saltwater intrusion in our drinking water supply, frequent flooding of our coastal communities. Given the amount of the mounting evidence of climate change, do you still believe it's a hoax?
Now, I happen to think that there are very important elements of climate, water and air. In my administration, I had the cleanest
all
air
the fifth elements.
And
heart. I didn't destroy jobs. I had the most jobs of any administration ever. I also had the cleanest water, crystal clean. We had the cleanest water.
I like the panning up too.
Yeah, what was that shot? That's very weird.
What that shot was. So this is the only part I show because he's just straight up lying here. Like, I actually don't think it's terrible politics to discuss climate in the idea of clean air, clean water, because climate's
David
a big issue.
doesn't
People
think
think
that water and air is important. Wow, David.
The issue is, as I showed in my video, well, here it is. rolled back more than 100 environmental rules, including on water and air, including revoked a rule that prevented coal companies from dumping mining debris into local streams, weakened a rule that aimed to limit toxic discharge from power plants into public waterways.
In the post-fact world now, though. We all live by vibes. Everything's vibes
Like,
now. You know,
Yeah.
like RFK Jr. endorsing this guy because he's apparently the better candidate on healthcare and the climate vibes.
The climate.
Yeah,
RFK is supposed to be the climate guy. Like, it's just
vibes.
This is
all vibes.
That's what I mean, though. Like, how fucking stupid is everything that we're even having discussions about this fucking moron.
See how clean the air is?
That was
And then
pretty
here,
good.
there's this one too.
Yeah.
Because, Mr. President, we were a divided nation. Instead of the United States of America, we were the divided states of America. Win or lose, if the American people to send you back to the White House or not, what specific steps will you take to unite a deeply divided nation?
So when I left office, we had a election that was in dispute by most people, I think, but certainly
most people.
a vast
Wasn't
majority of
at all.
people. That was the primary division.
Like,
who told that lie?
He brings up, like, the way to combat division is to bring up the fact of how you divided people by lying about you winning the election. Like, it's just, he's just such a even politically, this is a stupid answer. Dude, what are you doing here? You're just reminding people that, yeah, you're the one that helped to get people riled up when you claim that you won, when obviously you didn't. I think even most of your supporters understand that, even if they're not willing to admit it. It's just, it's so ridiculous. And the way he rambled on here, there's, I'm not gonna show this whole thing, but so this guy asks a question, basically saying, I voted for, I think he voted for him before. He's a former Republican. Now he's no longer one, but he wants his vote to be won back. Basically, he's asking Trump, what are you gonna do? And this answer goes on for 6.5 minutes. I showcased it like this because it gives you an idea of how boring and rambling this was.
Of the people in the administration support me, but because it's me, somebody doesn't support, they get a little publicity. The vice president, I disagree with him on what he did. You look at Maxine Waters and you look at Hillary Clinton and you look at what they say, and they don't put that on. They only put Republicans on, but they couldn't get bad. That's why Putin went into Ukraine, in my opinion. He looked and he saw he should have fired every general involved in that. And I will tell you, she's no way fit, in any way fit, to be the president of the United States. In fact, she turned on him, and they had a coup. They never fired somebody that said wonderful things. Sometimes they think about it. But when you let somebody go, even for cause, and I only do for cause, and people came in legally, I had the safest border in the history of our country. All he had to do was leave our people and leave our
6.5 minutes of
policies.
this shit.
So we had the most successful country we've ever had.
He just says a variation of the same shit again
Just
and
so
again.
these people are so bored.
Yeah.
There's one at the beginning where actually his best moment. I'll show you his best moment. See, I'm very fair. I showed his best moment right here. And the lady's yawning.
President Trump, we have time for a couple more questions.
Well, it's okay. They said, would you like to sit down?
Yes.
I said, that is the most uncomfortable looking chair I've ever seen. I'm looking at that chair. I said, I don't think anybody could sit in that chair.
True. I didn't get one.
That's his best moment, is when he made that joke and people laughed. And that's people find him amusing, I guess, charismatic at times, and that kind of gives you a window into that. But he lacks what he had in 2016. Like, this is just a guy who spends most of his time complaining about personal vendettas and just bitching the whole fucking time. The answers are rambling all over the place. None of it makes any sense. I just don't like watching that town hall. I watched it on like 2x speed. I can't imagine watching that, being there. Like, imagine sitting in the audience. It's an hour long. It felt like 2 hours, and that's me watching it at double speed. It just went on and on and on.
I will say it seems like they found every single non-Trump supporting Cuban living in America and put them in that room.
I mean, I think this is what exposed him. Like, these questions were most of them were pretty good. They were honest questions, and he's been avoiding anything like this. He's just been going on, all his safe spaces. But this is why he looked terrible, because he didn't know how to answer any actual questions.
Did you watch the Kamala on Fox News interview?
I saw clips of it. It was just like Brett Baer trying to catch her on stuff, and
yeah, they played a clip where they edited out the exact quote that Trump said, that he's like, he never said that. And then they played a clip on the TV, and they edited out where he said that exact phrase right before the moment they played on TV. It was pretty wild.
Try to find it. How do you spell? I'll just look up Brett. I never know how to spell his last name. Baer, is it B-A-I-R? B-A-I-E-R. That's ridiculous. Talk amongst yourselves as I look for here. Is this it? No.
Wow, the Guardians beat the Yankees. Oh wow!
I know.
Wow.
Quite a home run derby, if I do say so myself.
Wow, I'm shocked. And the Mets are Metsing. Let's see. Oh boy. All right, it's 3-1 Mets now. 3-1 Dodgers. Jesus Christ.
Here we go.
If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk.
So are they misguided? The 50%?
No, they're just stupid. Yeah, they're stupid.
I would never say that about the American
Well,
people. And in fact, if you
he's trying to get her to do
Trump,
the deplorable's mistake.
Yeah, he's trying to catch her. Yeah, exactly. In one of those,
it really tanked Hillary for a while.
And to be honest, I wish she would have gone for it. I don't think it would have hurt her.
He's trying to goad her into saying what all of us are thinking. You all in the chat don't want to admit it, but you all are thinking it.
They're not stupid. They're in a cult. They need help.
And they're also stupid.
And they're stupid. He tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated.
He literally says the
about
sentence,
the American people. That's not what you just.
The phrase before that clip starts. Like if you watch Chris Hayes, he did a little video on it. They literally edit out the exact sentence, and then the video starts playing. It's like it's the most obvious. Like whoa, that's the sentence.
Should I just find that? I should find that.
Yeah, I can. It's on Media. I can send you a link.
That is like Fox News has become even more emboldened. Like this shit they try to. I feel like they wouldn't have done that. Maybe like
for
8 years ago. He apologized for it. Okay.
No, he didn't. I mean, we just talked about how Asmongold apologized earlier in this show.
He said,
Brett Baer gave an Asmongold. Were there roaches calling up the studio wall when he apologized for it?
The thing is, even if he did apologize, the damage is done. Like the people aren't going to see the apology; they're going to see the initial interview.
They didn't accidentally edit it that way. It was obviously purposely done.
Oh no, it was definitely on purpose.
We've got Mike Poole in the chat. Shout out to Mike Poole. It's Tim Poole's dad, for those who don't know.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
We've got Alan Binder, Mike Poole, all the fathers of political
we got all the dads in the chat.
Yeah.
We are the
David
number one
Lance.
dad podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I gotta tell my dad to go watch right now.
Yeah.
We should rename this show to we should rename this show Call Me Lefty.
That's so bad.
Only appropriate that a dad joke was inserted there.
That's true. That's a great point, actually. I feel like I live for dad jokes these days. It's all I've got.
Oh wait, did you find the actual?
Yeah, I got. You just gotta play the Media Matters clip.
Their shit always has like 1,000 fucking ads. Let me see. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking about Mediaite.
Oh, Mediaite is really bad.
Mediaite is terrible.
Yeah, you can't. Their website is not functional unless you use ad block. It's so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mets have bases loaded, and they're going to screw this up because they're the Mets. I cannot believe what's going on.
No, it's going to be a grand slam.
Kamala Harris with every attack in the Trump playbook, including one moment where he got caught using an edited soundbite of Trump.
If you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people.
And he was the greatest.
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, no, that's not. There's the bottom. Both know after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He is America. Should be about Donald
just
to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way. Yes.
No, not Bob Woodward. Just Brett. Bear just used a soundbite to try to clear Donald Trump of saying a thing in which he cut out the part where he says it. Watch.
It is the enemy from within, and they're very dangerous. They're Marxists and communists and fascists, and they're sick. I use a guy like Adam Schiff because they made up the Russia hoax. It took 2 years to solve the problem. Absolutely nothing was done wrong, et cetera, et cetera. They're dangerous for our country. We have China, we have Russia, we have all these countries. If you have a smart president, they can all be handled. The more difficult are, the Pelosi's, these people, they're so sick and they're so evil. If they would spend their time trying to make America great again, it would be so easy to make this country great. But when I heard about that, they were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
All right.
They're the threat to democracy.
You see what they did there? On their own network. Like we have recording equipment here at 30 Rock, a lot of other places where we can just grab that. So he repeated, they are the enemy within. They're sick people. They're evil. He repeated it. And then Brett Baer's like, let me play you what he said today. He just cut out the big chunk. Now, in front of that crowd of Republican women, Fox host Harris Faulkner gave Trump the opportunity to climb down from his fascist rhetoric. That's why he was being asked that. Guess what? Trump wouldn't take it. He never takes it because he actually believes and wants to do what he says he wants to do. Then Brett Baer tried again to clean it up for Trump with the selectively edited clip. It is the same playbook we see over and over from Fox. Kamala Harris called them out. She wasn't about to let Fox get away with it. And I think we all know that after this, Donald Trump has no choice but to come on MSNBC for an interview.
What a greasy tactic. So brazen, though. Like to do it just like that. You just took out the exact quote right before the video played and then be like, see, he didn't say that thing right before in this specific clip that I got right here. So, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. This idea that Brett Baer is like, straight news guy. Fox News has Brett Baer. Don't worry. Like, no. No, he's as bad as anyone in prime time.
Yeah. And there were portions throughout that interview where he wouldn't let her get a word in edgewise. He'd ask a question, she'd start to answer, then he'd cut her off, interrupt her. It was so insane.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It just reminds me, like, this is why I stopped watching it. Like, I began to watch it, and the first 10 minutes is immigration. I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. And it's like he asks a question, and she starts to answer it, and immediately he, like, jumps on her. It's like, this is the first question. She can't even get, like, 3 words out before you, like, try to jump on her with something else. Like, it's just, I'm like, this is unwatchable. And I don't even, like, again, this focus on immigrant. Like, is this the problem in America? Is immigration? Is that really the issue? Like, of course, they want to make it out to be one, but there are so many other problems. Like the idea that immigration is the issue here.
We've reached the point in the election cycle where it's all a rerun now. We know what Republicans are going to talk about. We know how Kamala's going to answer. But we have that border bill, and it was written by a Republican, James Lankford, and Trump told them not to do it. Why is Trump playing? But like, I just know all the talking points. If she's asked about Israel, we will get a deal such that Israel is secure Palestinians have self-determination. Like I know every single word. It's exhausting. I hear it in my sleep. It's just have the election already and get it over with. I'm so exhausted by this cycle, and I feel that same way every single election cycle. But there's something about this election in particular that is especially draining. I don't know if it's because now the vibes are gone, that Kamala's kind of losing, and we're all kind of feeling like we're cooked, or if it's just draining because seeing Trump again is genuinely exhausting because he's so stupid. Sometimes he says funny stuff. Most of the time, though, it's scary and stupid. It's just a lot. And so I'm to the point where it's like, just show me the finale. Like, are we going to go towards fascism, or is Kamala going to win and we're going to do the same neoliberal stuff? Just tell me the outcome. I don't want to wait anymore. The suspense is killing me. I'm exhausted. I want to move on with my life. Can't take it.
And you cover this shit for a living. No, I totally.
Why did I do video
I totally
games?
feel the exact same. I ask myself that same question, and then I read the comments below videos on video games, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I don't do.
They get way more hate than we do.
People are fucking insane that comment on these videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I feel like this should be the time where we're all thriving. Like this is, exciting. There's an election. Like there's so much to talk about. But it's just like I don't want to talk about any of it. I don't want to read about any of it. I'm kind of over it. It's depressing. I think just seeing shit get stupider since I've started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, what impact am I am I part of the problem here?
No.
Like, am I making people stupid? Because I'm trying to help.
No.
But it just seems like since I started covering this stuff in like 2015, everyone's gotten dumber.
Yeah. It was a time of optimism where we felt like anything was possible. Bernie Sanders was running for president and he was surging and the world was our oyster. And now 10 years later, we're all doomers and we're just farting in the wind with our YouTube channels and everybody's fascist and we're all miserable.
Yeah. And the people that had no audiences when we started have bloomed and become famous because they're fascists. Because the algorithm has benefited them to be pieces of shit. It's just wild.
There was a time where that was not palatable. Part of it is the algorithm. Part of it is boomers learned how to use the internet. And they went right to their right-wing echo chamber. They found YouTube, and they're like, okay, this is what I want. And it created that feedback loop, audience capture. And now that's the most predominant form of political commentary on the internet. That, or a lot of liberal content like MSNBC, but I think to a much lesser extent, conservatives by far and away dominate social media. They dominate YouTube. And you're not really going to get very far unless you are very conservative or you're hyper liberal. Doing what we do now is just you're never going to get anywhere because
or you make an offhanded joke when somebody's interviewing you in the street and you say Hawk Tua and now you're a fucking multi-millionaire.
Right. Oh fuck. God damn.
With little to no effort, you've now overnight become a success.
That could happen too, I guess.
All you had to do was spit on that thing, and you would have had it. You would have had the money.
Why didn't I think of that joke? And why wasn't I interviewed?
Yeah. Why was it? Every time I think about that girl, I think about the poor guy who interviewed her. Like he had a show. What's his show? He's getting none of the credit for any of this. He should get at least part of at least half of whatever her deal is. He's the like the finder's fee. He should get something from this.
Right.
He discovered her.
At least some royalties. He put her on. He discovered her.
Mm-hmm.
And now she has one of the not number one, but like she's in the top 10 podcasts. And I saw this video of Mr. Beast where he rented out a theater to watch the Hawk Tuah Girls podcast, and they were all eating his shitty Lunchable.
Oh my
and they were
god!
listening to
I saw
KSI.
that video.
And seeing that,
I
I'm
think
like,
that's
honestly,
when I turned my phone off. I'm like, all right, good night.
Oh, Mike, did you see
enough
those?
for me.
Did you see those advertisements on the highway in Chicago? And they had like these banners on them with Mr. Beast's face, and it said like all these things about Israel. And then it said paid by Mr. Beast LLC.
I saw that. That was great
because someone apparently hacked into the signs.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yes, it was a hacker.
It wasn't Mr. Beast. Like
it was not. It was not a weird piece of bull anywhere. Well, Mr. Beast metal. That's wild.
I just thought somebody bought it for Mr. Beast. Hey, Rebecca.
Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Wonderful.
Good,
how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're making it through.
We're well.
Good.
Yeah, enjoying the election season per usual.
He's
very optimistic.
How was sleeping storm season? Was everything okay?
It was the first storm did some damage. That was Helen, whatever. And then there was Milton. So that caused like tornadoes by my hometown. And there were where I'm from, it's like no tornadoes really be coming there, but tornadoes rip through there. But again, outside of where I'm from in South Florida, West Palm Beach, a lot of damage. Like Tampa really got it really bad and stuff, and those areas up north. But my parents are good. Lights out for a little bit, but I couldn't go home to the funeral, and they canceled my flight. When I tried to do another flight, they were like, they're not flying anybody out to that area. But so I didn't get to go to the funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow,
that really
sucks.
sucks. And she was just, I told y'all, she was just rolling around for like 2 hurricanes. She died September 22nd and just got buried on October 12th. So,
wow.
Yeah. But, like I said, she lived her life a long, long time. So that gave me peace. But it was just so stressful trying to get there. I really was really, really trying to make it. But things happen. At least my people are safe. I hate that a lot of people have a lot of damage. Somebody that I know still doesn't have power. Like right now, still does not have power. But she's cheerful, and that's good. But yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
If you don't maintain your wits about you, during a time like that, I feel like you'd lose your mind.
Yeah.
Letterhack, you were on Letterhack's show.
I
Shout out
wasn't,
to him.
and I was supposed to be. Let me tell you.
Oh, okay. I saw the thumbnail. I was gonna mention him because he had no power for like a week.
For Helene, I think it was. I don't know if it was for Milton, but for Helene. So we were supposed to do it that time.
Rebecca, big time Letterhack. Just
right, big time. Big time. He's interviewed me before. He's always been a really, really great supporter of mine, even when I was like back in Like It or Not, way, way back in the day, like 2017. See, back in the day. But he interviewed me before. This time around, we were supposed to do it before Helene, and then we both were affected by it. And then we were supposed to do it this past Monday, but I was just so exhausted. I was like, let me put my alarm on. Y'all know how it is. And I went to sleep. And then my alarm, I slept through it. And then I woke up, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, why would this happen to me for the second time? But we're gonna reschedule. So yeah.
That's oof. You big time.
I will say, when you sleep through an alarm, if you're that tired, that is one of the best sleeps of your life. Anytime I slept through an alarm, I felt so good afterwards.
Listen,
Even though
I needed
myself.
that. I needed it. I got up like, whoo, like, it's the next day or something. But then I'm like, there's something that I needed to do. And it was the show. It was the show.
I gotta be honest. Many years ago, I had booked the guest for the Majority Report on one of the episodes I was hosting. And that happened. They slept through. And I got to tell you the truth. I thought that was the biggest piece of shit thing to do on the floor.
Really?
I felt so bad. I did it here before.
I was like, this motherfucker thinks so little of me that he just slept through my interview.
No, I think that's honestly, if that happened to me, I'm like, whatever. That's
I feel like
that's
it's
relatable
super
to me. I'm like, I understand.
Same.
I was
So relatable to me.
No, that's
because I've done it before, so that's why it's relatable to me.
If Letterhack was fine with it, then that's cool. But if just the word to the wise, if you sleep through a scheduled interview with me, I will think very little of you.
Who was it? Name names.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
It was Jimmy Dore. That's why he hates him so
they're
much.
They're actually someone who left the left.
Oh,
then why can't you tell us? You should tell us even more. Then.
It was Jamie Kilstein.
Not your name dropping. You gotta force him to name drop.
I forgot about that person. I forgot all about that person. I could see it.
I thought that was. I was like,
well, now I don't believe them. Now I don't believe they did
serious?
Yeah, it depends on the person. It's like, oh, this person's not really. I can't trust this person. No, they're lying about it. But if someone else says it, I'm like, oh, I understand. It depends on the person.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it does, but it just was such a long week. I wasn't even supposed to be in town, so it was just such a long week. And the way that I just put my head to the pillow and I was like, okay, Rebecca, just put it on, give yourself 30 minutes and, whatever. Honey, that 30 minutes was 4 hours and I was asleep. I was sleeping.
Actually, he's invited me on a future episode too. Like not the interview, but I guess he has like that podcast he has on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But they start like 10:30. All right. I'm like, sure, well, I'll come on sometime, but I gotta really be ready to go on a 10:30.
Super late one. Yeah,
that's when I want to go to bed. Like, yeah, it's a little.
I wonder what
late.
time zone he's in. I'm not sure. Like, is it like mine?
I think
like
it's
Eastern Standard Time.
I want to say EST.
I think he's Central. I thought he was Central.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
And you guys, what time is it? Like y'all on the same time as us too, Canada, right?
Just me and Mike are the ones on the West Coast. Everyone else is.
Yeah, the rest of us are East.
Yeah,
we're normal. We're the normal ones. Rebecca.
You're abnormal.
We are the normal time.
Well, where are you at? You're not in this. Oh, you're in a different area from Canada.
Well, yeah, but me and Mike are the same time zone. We're both in the
now,
West.
Rebecca, I think you might need to pull up a map of Canada.
I was gonna say I never.
Canada is quite wide. It's quite wide.
It's not just like a sliver on the East Coast.
Never got along. Never. Like even like I have to do GPS for everything except for when I'm back home.
Same.
But if you got to tell me, like there's somewhere called the Big Chicken here. It's KFC and there's like a huge chicken here. It's so corny. But like you got to tell me, Rebecca, make a left at the Big Chicken or make a left at the yellow building with the red strip, like stuff like that. Because if you tell me like go north,
no, I'm the guy. I'm actually the exact same way.
Yeah, I can't.
You want to know what though?
GPS.
It is not your fault because I always felt really bad about this, that I had no sense of direction. Apparently, it is innate. Like there's actually something in your body physiologically that makes it difficult for you to know where the fuck you are. I can't explain it scientifically, but I read an article a long time ago and it made me feel very good about myself. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah.
So people that have good direction, don't treat us like morons. It's not our fault.
We're not dumb. It is just
the way we are.
Because I can't get it. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now.
If I don't have a GPS saying turn left here right now, then I won't be able to find my place. It's like I've never had a sense of direction.
I mean, well, Ben is in the chat. Ben said hi, guys.
Oh, hey, Ben.
He says hi. He checked in.
Hello, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben. I mean, there's I don't know why we're comparing the two. There's a huge difference between like needing help getting somewhere, like directions, and then like not knowing the shape of Canada.
Nobody knows the shape of Canada in America.
It's America's hat.
Yes, we are Americans.
Well, I'm being so hard on Rebecca today. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah,
it's okay. But I didn't even get that. I don't know. I just geography jokes. I wouldn't get it either. So just keep them coming because I don't geography and me. Like I said, we don't go together, and I'm okay with that. And Mike, thank you for making me feel better because letting me know that everybody has some kind of disability when it comes to finding your way.
Yes, it's a real thing. I was hard on myself, so don't be hard on yourself because there's a reason. Yeah. Okay, I do have a story. I'm not sure if you all we were talking about interviews with Trump and Kamala, and so Trump was on a podcast. I think it was one of the Barstool Sports podcasts. It was called where is it? Bussin with the Boys.
What are these shows?
He was on it, the podcast.
Yeah, he was on this podcast, and I don't have any content from the podcast. They're talking about sports, and he attacks trans people. He calls Imani Khalif a man, and they say nothing. They just laugh. So they're douchebags. But one of the Bussin bros, he was asked a question from one of the clips that went viral, and he decided to put out his response to the Washington Post publicly. And I watched this, and I was not ready for the ending. So I'll let you all see what his quote-unquote response was to the Washington Post, who reached out for comments after he interviewed Donald Trump.
All right, as you guys know, our latest episode of Bussin' with the Boys, we had on Donald.
And by the way, correction, it's Bussin' with the Boys. He doesn't get to appropriate gay language, even if he's naming his show that. It's bussing.
It's not about bussing.
If
I thought it was
you want to go watch it, it's on all of our channels, on all of our platforms. Go check it out. But we knew that there'd be a reaction, good, bad. Media would react, and we are getting our first media encounter. The Washington Post has reached out for comment regarding a remark made during the episode that's gaining online attention, including from Trump's opponent in the presidential race. The remark they're referring to that they want comment on is a part of the episode where we're talking ball and how Trump used to play tight end, would have locked him up, and he essentially makes the comment, I wouldn't want to get hit, or I didn't want to get hit by somebody who's been lifting weights all day long and came from a bad neighborhood. Taylor and I laughed. They want our comment.
Okay, I just have to pause it because I thought of a joke at the end. I'm laughing at my own joke already. It's so good. At the end of the video, you'll know why they call themselves the Bussy Boys. I'll let them continue.
Their question is, why did we find that amusing? And you already know what they want to do with this thing. You want to know what kind of picture they want to paint. You want to know what kind of box they want us to put us in. You want to know, their vision for this entire question on asking that. And number one, I thought it was funny because Trump is sitting there admitting that he is not built for the A-gap, nor is he a tight end that was built for catching a slant over the middle, only to get his vertebrae, his L4 and L5 compressed by a middle linebacker that probably goes on to play at Nebraska.
This is all unnecessarily
arguably
long
10
and
years in the
superfluous, by the
NFL.
way. I'm sorry.
But just knowing that the direction they want to go with this thing as they write whatever article that they're trying to write. And they asked if Willard Taylor would provide a comment on why we found that amusing. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I'll publicly tell you guys my comment. So Washington Post, here's my comment about why I thought it was amusing.
Surprise.
We sat
Yeah.
through that to hear this guy fart.
Trump supporters in a nutshell.
That was very uncomfortable. First of all, I know where he was going with that, and that's disgusting. Like that is like.
So out of
I
left
thought he was
field.
about to get real racist with it at any second. I was like, the fact that he's like, you know where they're going with this, you know what they're trying to do, and I was like, oh god.
And he farted, and then this is who Donald Trump went to go sit with. People who have no respect, tiny brains. I don't even know what he was talking about. I really was trying to get on the wave, and I couldn't. And I'm not. Well, he was trying to attack the media. For the
If your
comment,
whole angle though is to just simply grow your audience and get attention,
that's what it's giving.
He got that. I mean, he got a media headline. We're talking about him. I fucking heard this guy now. I don't fucking want to hear about
Never
this
even heard of him in my life.
Now
Never
we all
heard
know
of
who
his
he is.
podcast.
We all
and
know
then I
about
have
the
to
Bussin
find out
Boys
that
podcast.
We are the fools here.
Bussin
We are the
Boy.
fools. He is the
Bussin
winner.
Boys.
We are the fools.
I was really shocked about that. Like, I'm really shocked about that ending.
It just came out of left field, and this is just to put this into perspective. This is somebody who interviewed the former president of the United States.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These are the people. This is the podcast that he goes to sit on, and yet he's supposed to be running. He wants to go and run this country, right? These are people who can't even simply answer or not answer, say, okay, I decline to talk to the Washington Post and call it a day. Continue on with your podcast. The right will love that. Oh, he's not talking to them, but you went and farted. These are the type of people that Donald Trump
It
associates.
takes now to get ahead. All right, it's attention economy. You got to shit yourself. That's
You
just it's the
do.
only way to get them clicks. You know, to get the likes. To get
Grown
the clicks.
man.
I don't understand. And one thing that
Conservative.
confused me is he kept that fart at the tip of his asshole for like 4 minutes.
He was
Going
holding
on
it in.
about sports, and then finally, when he's ready to rip at the perfect time, I'm like, "What the fuck? How?
He knows what linebackers at the front."
But
Well,
it didn't feel like he was training.
You're looking at it wrong. You're saying he held it while he talked. What if
He
the more
conjured
likely
it?
scenario is he had to keep talking until it came? That's why he
Ew.
spoke for so long.
Oh,
That's why he rambled on and on.
It's disgusting, all in all. And I just
That's the more likely scenario. I mean, come on.
Ew.
I mean, it's possible, or he could just fart on command. It's called the Bussy Boys. So
people are dying, and we don't even know what they talked about in that whole thing, right? In the original podcast with him sitting there, with Donald Trump sitting there, and then here we are with a clip of his response to people, like to him not responding to Washington Post, and it's a fart. And then him comparing to
in 10 years, presidential debates will just be two guys puking on each other for like an hour. That's the direction we're headed in. Like
it's not even.
That is the natural progression of things, I guess.
Yeah.
We should check the Washington Post to see if, when asked for a comment, John of the Bussin boys just responded by farting.
I'm pretty sure they already wrote that. Like, that's really disgusting. I mean, it's just like a grown man, but then Donald Trump as well. He's disgusting. And old man, he's at the end of his days and he's still out here. This is who you sit with. There's nothing to me. Like, if this is the future of what the left and the right will look like, because it's really a tough time for us, guys. It's just really,
we're going through it, aren't we?
I'm tired.
You know what's funny is before this, a lot of people were joking about how the Hawk Tuah girl was going to bring Trump on her podcast. But it's like, actually, that would be an upgrade from the Bussin boys, would it not? I feel like that's more reputable to talk to the Hawk Tuah girl.
Is the Hawk Tuah girl a conservative, or did I like?
Probably.
It's one of the internet's great mysteries. I think they're really trying.
I think she's just an idiot.
She's GOP coded for sure, but I think she's mostly just apolitical, if I had to guess. But probably
she's a Mets fan, so she's okay.
She seems like a normal dumb person.
Yeah.
You know,
in my opinion, she's either
worse.
apolitical completely or a Nazi. It's one of the two. I can't. It
depends on the day. Like she had some kind comments towards Elon Musk. So I'm like, all right, you're either not online enough, which is actually a credit to you to understand how fucking insane Elon Musk is, or you are, and you like him. So
right.
I think it's probably the first. I just don't think she's probably that online to know how much of a fucking lunatic he is now.
In her defense, I do think that part of that is the flattery, because Elon Musk really pushed the Hawk Tuah when she first blew up initially. So maybe it's her thinking, oh, this rich guy, he's really popular. He was promoting me, so I'm a fan.
I don't think so.
No?
I think I think there's enough political conversations that are for people who are considered dumb and they automatically side with something. I've seen her a couple of times from that time, and she gives that she would side more naturally to something conservative or to the right.
I get that sense too.
Or to money. Maybe she just knows, oh, this guy's
I was
rich.
gonna say,
If I kiss his ass, yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, Elon Musk pushed me, and I don't gotta say nothing to nobody. I'm making a coin. I have a podcast. I've, like, people will follow me, so it doesn't matter. The more that, like you said, Lance, the more people I can get to follow me or whatever, the more my bag continues to grow, and I will attach myself to anybody regardless. And I think that it works for her in that sense. So her knowing that Elon Musk has a coin, that's fine, but I'm pretty sure if she were to have to do a actual grift, like, well, even we don't know if she grift or not. I think that's where she was. That's what she sides with. But I'm pretty sure if she would bring Donald Trump on her podcast, it would definitely be something that we would see that she would align with, for sure.
I think so too. Even if she didn't necessarily agree with Donald Trump, which I suspect that she does because she is conservative coded, in my opinion, I think that she would bring him on, because right now she's trying to grow her platform and she's just trying to get big guests. So I think she would do it.
The latest thing I saw about Trump's next podcast is that he's going to go on the Undertaker's podcast, like the pro wrestler, the Undertaker, the legendary.
Yeah, all them wrestlers and boxers or whatever he had at his at the RNC. He had, like, them people that's who really led his stuff. Hulk Hogan, remember when he called the people the Trumpites? He blessed them as the Trumpites and stuff like that.
Trumpomania, brother.
These are the people that they like. There's who are the experts in the matter politically. You're just aligning yourself with all of these celebrities or whatever that makes it look good for entertainment purposes, or just for just for it to go viral.
It's for audience outreach. Like, I think it's actually smart politically, like, to go to these places, these spaces that seem apolitical largely, and speak to an audience that you're speaking to people who maybe they didn't think about voting at all, but now they're hearing you on this podcast and they're going to come out to vote. Like
But what does it give? I'm like, we stop. I guess they just like I'm not seeing the people who are actually having the real conversations, hard conversations or things like that, where Donald Trump has come and sit. I recently,
he's not going to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's supposed to be going to become the next president. The fact that the bar is so low that we're accepting that but he should be held to that. Like, go sit with these people, whether or not he's really
not held to anything.
No, I wish he was.
Sad.
It's sad that they can choose to not debate. It's sad that they can just go on friendly interviews. It does suck.
And to be fair, like we covered earlier, he was on Univision. He fucking bombed it terribly. No one's talking about it because it's it's what you expect of Trump. Like it's not out of the ordinary, but you really have to sit and listen to his answers to just remind yourself how fucking insane this man is. But so even when he does a place like Univision where he's being asked tough questions by the audience, it's not even making headlines.
Yeah, I will say that the JD Vance interviews that he's been doing have actually been really, really brutal. Excuse me. He was asked about the 2020 election because at the debate with Tim Walz, he said that he's looking towards the future when Tim Walz asked him whether or not he thought that Trump lost the debate. And he was asked again in a different interview, and he kept obfuscating and saying, well, I'm focused on the future. Why won't you answer my question about the election interference in 2020 when the New York Post suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story?
Yeah, that was
and so
New York
Martha
Times.
Raddatz then interviewed him after that interview, and she's like, so is it true that if I ask you 50 times whether or not Trump lost the 2020 election, you're still not going to answer it? And of course, same shit. Oh, well, why won't you answer my question? I'll answer your question if you answer my question. It's so damaging, and he can't get away with that. Trump can get away with that because he's Trump without the charisma.
I seen JD Vance in an interview, and it could be the woman that you named, I'm not sure. And this was like maybe a few days ago, where she asked him what he said on a podcast, and his response to her, and I don't know the woman's name, but in this interview, his response to her was, maybe I did say that on the podcast. You're telling me that I said that on that podcast, which sounds like something I would say, but since you said that I said that, maybe I said it. I said, this is...
Oh
Lord,
God.
this is what we have. This is what you send us. Take it back.
Oh, it's scary that he could be the next VP. I hate to think about that.
Absolutely.
I hate to think about
and
it.
I think he's naturally I don't think he's that dumb, right? We didn't know about him when he probably had some kind of, some knowledge, some intelligence, to have that spot. But as soon as he attached himself to Donald Trump, he had to dumb himself down and really stop talking about the things that matter if they did to him, but stop talking about things that matter and then just go and really present as unintelligent. And that actually, unless it's something that he's saying where it's super conservative or just like about abortion where he's anti-abortion, those things he'll come out and have talking points for. Anything else outside of that, it's like, what'd you say? Like, I don't know, maybe. And everybody's okay with that.
Yeah, he's the political equivalent of a right-wing grifter where he's just saying what he's saying, or a Twitter grifter where they say shit to get engagement, but maybe they don't even believe it. They're just trying to say the most extreme thing that they can say to get views and clicks. Yeah, Ian Miles Chong, Jackson Hinkle, these types of people that they'll just say anything, even if it's stupid.
And the fact that the bar is, like I said, so low that all you got to do is say something enough for the right to post. And I've heard people talking and their conversations always align with, I don't even like when the left does it. Because sometimes they be wrong too. And I'm not just gonna side with you because blue or because Democrat or because progressive. I'm not like, and the right feels like as long, I don't care what this person says, it could be deadly, it could be against me. I know nothing. I'm learning nothing. This doesn't help me in my future. This does not help me and my kids. But because JD Vance sat there and it sounds like he said something good, I'm gonna go with it. Not going to do any research, not going to do anything. I just have to vote for JD Vance and Donald Trump. And there's a big ass sign where I live. I don't know who put it there, but it is huge. And I was driving down the street and you could see it. It's just like a big old Trump sign, huge, taking over like a lot of land. And it's huge. And it's just like Trump and Vance. And then I went up a little bit more, and like at the corner of a dusty curb is just a sad little Harris
Walls.
Yeah, wall sign. And it was all wrinkled. And it was just like just blowing in the wind to hardly on the one little leg. And I'm like, Lord, please. No, I'm in Georgia. I'm in Georgia.
Oh, this was in Georgia. I thought
This
you
is
went
Georgia.
you went to visit Florida. Oh wow.
Yeah, no, this is here, and I can't imagine. I know in Florida they've been at that bridge since 2020. They've never left. They're still they got so much money. They don't got to work over there on the Palm Beach Bridge. They don't have to work. They just stand there every single day and say that Donald Trump won the election. They did that for years. Rain, shine, whatever it is. They wake up early in the morning and they go over to that bridge and they're holding up Donald Trump won the election. They stole the election from Donald Trump. And now they have these JD Vance Trump signs. I told y'all when I went to Tennessee, there was a makeshift Trump trucks. They're fast. JD Vance Trump. Somebody, and it was like it was one of them sundown town looking trucks. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And they made a hat on it. What time did they find? But they did this in August and had the hat, had the whole side like hand painted, and they were driving. And I'm just looking like, how did it?
Was it at least a good paint job with some actual creativity? Because when Obama was president, I saw somebody with it was a truck, it was a pickup truck. And they had written on cardboard some message about Obama. Hey, Mr. Obama. I don't remember what the message was, but it was on cardboard, and they taped it to their back window. Shittily, by the way. They just taped it up all shitty. They didn't try to make it nice. Shittiest handwriting, and maybe that's why I can't remember what they wrote. Shittily.
Did you make that word up?
That should be a word.
It's probably not a real word. It's probably not a real word.
Sounds like something Ned Flanders would say.
Shittily diddly.
Shittily
no,
diddly.
but it really seeing that was so weird because they couldn't even take the time to maybe use some color pencils or to get bright paper so it's more eye-catching. It's just some shit. Like it's like they took a cereal box and just ripped it real quick, flipped it inside out, and they wrote with whatever Sharpie they could find. No creativity. So if they could at least take the effort to paint their Trump Vance and kill all the gays and make it look nice, then that's something to be considered. I think
I've seen, and if they're gonna do anything, like when Barack Obama first became president, that was my first time being able to vote, and I remember, baby, the trucks down in Florida, the cars, they had got them wrapped with like Obama on them, and we call them donks, and they were sitting on like 38s and all that kind of stuff, spokes, all of the things, and they came and parked all along my university, and it was just like Obama trucks, and it was like my president is black and all. It was just, I'm like, dang, y'all got money for all this. They really took time to do this, so seeing the effort that they put into Donald Trump is crazy, but they got time. Somebody said they got time in a time that doesn't exist. But these people are rich in Palm Beach. They'll go over. They don't have anything to do. Like Donald Trump is from that area or lives in that area, Mar-a-Lago, and so they literally eat, sleep, everything shittily. Donald Trump, they do it all. You all right, Matt? Patients do that when somebody's choking to help them not choke. So when somebody's choking, they're going like that helps. It doesn't.
I like that. It's like a bless you for choking.
Yeah, it's really for babies because to teach babies to get whatever's out their throat. Like,
that makes sense.
But we do it to grown folks, so people be choking. We don't go. We'll go beat their back like a few seconds later when we see they're dying. We're like,
time to help out now for real.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I hope
to
you're
your
okay
point
now.
though, I find like
sorry, the Mets are killing me, and I choked. I pulled the Mets. I choked.
Choking like the Mets. I feel like any sort of identity towards a political party is so disturbing. Like to wrap up your I don't care who it is. Like to wrap up your identity in a politician or a party is so weird. Like these are people that they have. Like these aren't celebrities. They have jobs. Like they're supposed to represent you, and they're supposed to do things for our lives. It's very bizarre to, regardless of what they do, you're going to support them, regardless of anything. It's very bizarre.
Absolutely. I think that was a lesson learned for us. Because like I said, it was beautiful. Now, mind you, we've never had a Black president. So we were all in it, right? And then we quickly realized, hey, okay, he's Black, but that can't be enough for us to just vote for somebody because they're Black. Now, in my circle at my house, while I'm at the kitchen table talking to my people, we voting for the Black person. Now I hold them accountable, but why are you voting for them? Because there's Black people on the right. So why are you voting for this person? What can they do for you? Do you know what they can do for you? Do you know how that affects you, or whatever the case may be? So that's why I made sure. Look, I absolutely love that Kamala Harris is making history. She is Black. She's a woman. She's Black. She's South Asian. She all of these things are beautiful and they're great. She went to an HBCU. These are things I can relate to, but that can't be just it, right? I'm voting for her for other reasons that mean something to me and my future. She's going to be here for 4 years. Who knows? I may become a mom in 4 years. What laws does she have in place where, that can help me out, or things like that? Y'all don't think about that? That is what I challenge when I'm, at home now talking to my family members or whatever the case may be. Those who won't vote for her because she's just a woman, I ask them, well, why would you vote for the other person then if they're just a man? But what else can they do for you? These are questions that you need to ask yourself locally too. So that's what I think I learned. That was one of the biggest things that I've learned when it comes to having the right to vote. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just vote for what's popular or what's trending, or just to act like you want, to be different on the other side of it.
I do
really
think
understand who you're voting for.
I think it's less of an issue when it comes down to a general election. I understand people getting excited about, wanting to avoid Donald Trump, for example. I get that. It's more about in between the elections. If you're like a cult of a party or a person in between elections, that's very bizarre behavior. It's one thing to try and hype up your candidate before an election. It's another to wake up and be like, I'm gonna go on that bridge and show that sign for the next year.
I mean, commitment, honey. Did your kids eat? Did you hit the toothbrush?
Yeah, that is a little too much.
Hi, doggy. What is your dog's name? I don't even know your animal's names. What is it?
Chico.
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 Yeah.
Oh, he's Mexican?
Yeah, he's adopted from Mexico.
Oh.
Chico.
I love that.
He's a good boy.
We should I have this idea. I think this is a great idea, the best idea I've ever had. We should do super chats at 10 p.m. from now on so that I can get to bed by 11.
Absolutely. By 11.
It's
10 o'clock right now.
Well,
that means I can get out of here? What? Speaking of super chats,
it also gives us more topics. Sometimes we get dry here.
Yeah, no. Did you guys talk about I missed it. Did you guys talk about Kamala already?
A little bit.
In terms of what?
Her recent interview where she went where they're calling
Fox
her the aggressive Black woman.
The Fox News one. Yeah, we talked a bit about that.
Okay, good. And you talked a little bit about it. I played the video because it was spicy to me, but it was right on the money. I feel like
you played that edited clip how they basically tried to do a gotcha for her, and then it was he literally says what she had said. He says, and they just edit that one part out, and then be like, he never said that. And now they've subsequently apologized. So well, not apologized, but they said we made a mistake, and in fact, Trump did say that.
She checked them, and the interviewer, whatever his name is,
Brett Baer.
Yeah, he was like, okay, but we can. No, she's like, we not moving forward because see, this is what y'all do. y'all literally. This is.
I liked her. I liked what.
That was a
yeah,
good
I liked her
response
whole
to
attitude in that interview.
Me too. I feel like that is, and it wasn't disrespectful. It was
No.
just like, come on, if we're gonna have this conversation, let's have this conversation. Don't bring me here and play a clip knowing that there's something else that was said, and we're not gonna do that. And so I love that she stood her ground there. Of course, some people are saying that she was disrespect. You know how they do. They like
Those people aren't going to vote for her anyways. Like the idea that I don't think it looked bad on her at all.
Yeah, I love to see it though. I really liked seeing that fire in her.
Yeah.
And to me, she was pretty calm. Kamala. She was pretty calm, but she was very determined to make sure she clears the room, especially with the interviewer, because some of them like to lead in a way, of course, to get you to say something or to trap you, and she handled that to me perfectly. I like that she showed up in that way. It's good to see her like fiery like that. She gets to be that way too. But of course, you have the people who, like you said, they're not going to vote for her anyway, who took that opportunity to call her the angry Black woman, or she went up there aggressively. And
I think they're threatened by the idea that does help her. Like when when she's more forceful, more real, I think that helps her, and people are afraid of that, and they're going to try to push back against that because they don't want her to have that appeal. But it makes her more relatable.
Yeah. And then, with this whole thing about her, which is true, she's not popular with Black men right now. And when she's the administration.
Compared to what though?
She's more popular with Black men than she is with white men. The demographic everyone ignores is like white men vote for Trump. That's
and that's true.
Yeah.
So what happened though, because these conversations are loud online, and so they sent out Barack Obama to go speak to some men, Black men who are voting, and a lot of the people who saw the conversation, we talked about this on Monday on Like It or Not, and a lot of people who saw the conversation or seen the conversation that somebody had on a cell phone, I think, and it got out, they were saying that wasn't the way to grab those members, Black people, Black men, and I didn't like how this conversation went. There was some people were saying that because she married white, don't come looking for Black men now, those type of things. And I'm like, that's so dumb. Like, it's really dumb. Now, did I like the way that Barack Obama went to go speak to them people? Absolutely not. I don't even think that should have gotten out, but I didn't like the way he went to go speak to those men. If you're looking to garner votes, that to me wasn't the way to like kind of sun them. And but outside of that, I feel like after they made headlines every 2 seconds of, oh, Kamala Harris is not doing well with Black men. Now I'm seeing Kamala Harris needs to do more to do better with Latino men. I'm like, see, I'm starting to see a little pattern. No matter what, they're gonna find these group of men or whatever and say she's not doing good with them. We're close. We're really close, guys. Just like what, a week or two away from.
Yeah, it's weird that it feels like it kind of creeped up pretty quickly here.
This all really came fast, and I feel like now I'm getting, just thinking about it now, I'm getting anxiety. It's like, dang. What a day that's going to be.
Right before David goes to Super Chats, can I just say to everyone in all the other chats, if you live in British Columbia, please vote. The last day to vote is on Saturday for the British Columbian election. It's coming down between an extreme right-winger and a social democrat turned centrist, but either way, don't let those far right come to power. So if you live in BC, October 19th is voting day, but you can vote now before then. Please
how are the polls looking right now in BC?
It looks like the NDP are going to win if everything continues along the course, so that'll be good. We did have a funny event yesterday where cockroaches showed up, people in cockroach costumes, because the leader of the Conservative Party said that kids will be forced to eat bugs. So a bunch of people dressed as bugs were wearing Conservative shirts, being like, "We're here for our rights. Don't let the children eat us." So that was pretty funny.
I gotta say the popularity of that far right lunatic has changed my view of people of BC a little bit. I didn't think it was possible for someone that fucking crazy.
It's a unique situation, okay? With the liberals just dropped out altogether. So
yeah, fair enough.
Right, to suck them up.
But man, that guy should not. Hopefully,
no, he's
winning.
very scary.
All right.
Before we get to
Yes.
super chats, I did have something that I found. I have not watched it yet. So this was shared by Will Summer.
Please, no more farts. No more farts, please.
Well, I haven't pre-watched this, so unless he breaks
seen
when.
this. It's actually, no, he doesn't fart in this.
Okay,
Oh my
okay.
God.
Well,
I
he does
want
still
to talk.
swoop up.
I saw this. It's so bad.
There's
As you all
actually a
know,
Toronto connection to this that I don't
he's
like.
doing the
Website.
Christian
Oh, it is.
pivot lately, and now he's already leaning
Oh, really?
into the Christian salesman. Yeah, because he was suddenly accused inexplicably out of nowhere of sexual assault, and happened to it coincide with the time that he got his life right with Jesus, which is pretty coincidental. But I'm sure
that's not a shocker.
I'm sure it's genuine. But now he's selling these magical amulets for $239.99. And it protects you from Wi-Fi signals and other evil energies. I have not watched this, so I have no idea what he's going to say, but I had to.
Absolutely not.
It caught
If you have
my.
money to spend, there's more powerful ones, more powerful amulets you can buy.
Oh, there are. Oh, well, okay. Because
I
I feel
went
like
to the
that.
website. It's
White
incredible.
witchcraft.
Oh, there's a website. We have to
Yep,
go to the website.
100%.
We have to check out the website then. All right. Well, I'll let it play.
Hello, I'm just back from Narnia, where I had a holiday, Mr. Tumnus, Aslan, all those guys. And as you know, airports are places full of Wi-Fi and all sorts of evil energies. Think of all the phones out there, all of the signals, corruptible and corrupting. Luckily, I wear this magical amulet from Airtech that keeps me safe from all of the various signals.
Pause it. I don't know if Russell Brand realizes this, but one of those corrupting signal sending devices is strapped right to his chest in that wireless microphone.
He's got the amulet. No, he's wearing the amulet. He's got the amulet right now.
Yeah, the amulet's protecting him though. He's got the amulet on. So
He's actually
Yo.
it's being blocked right now.
That's amazing. And he's got a phone, I'm assuming.
Somebody's on the phone filming him on somebody's
Right.
Wi-Fi for this to be on the internet.
Right. So, well, maybe he could do it though. To be fair, because he has the amulet.
He does have the amulet.
So that would explain that.
But it's supposed to protect you from Wi-Fi.
Yes. From all the negative radiation that comes from radio signals and Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, you name it, it'll protect it
I
all.
see.
Yeah.
So he can't broadcast the Wi-Fi signal because it's being blocked from him. But
It only, I think, blocks what comes within, not what projects outward. So you get defense without losing offense. It's pretty fun.
wow, okay. Well, I mean, it might be worth the $240.
Out there, and also means look at this, look how strong I am. I think this is making me more powerful, as a matter of fact. Look at that, this stuff is absolutely packed with Airtech. I didn't even bring any socks or toothbrush or dog meat or anything like that, just completely full of Airtech. You should get one as well, particularly if you're planning to go to an airport anytime soon, because the bloody things are full of lethal signals. Airtech, a glorious amulet to protect you from corrupting signals. Hello, I'm just back from
He just repeated the same thing over
That's
and over
what
again. That
Katy
wasn't even a
Perry
good
was
ad.
crying over at that concert. Because absolutely not. Absolutely
So
not.
I have the way I heard about this is very unfortunate and sad. There is a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs that apparently is into this amulet. Luckily, the hockey fans, the Leaf fans, are not for it, and they have been making fun of him nonstop over it. But this is the former captain of the Leafs. Let me bring this up. John Tavares gets roasted for openly promoting a strange and mysterious amulet. This fucking guy, man. Why? Why is he doing this to us?
The team. I'm sorry for you, man.
Apparently, according to him, it can heal wounds. This is giving me. Who's that football player who's also crazy? It's giving me that kind of vibe.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. He's giving me Aaron Rodgers vibes. It's very unfortunate.
Oh shit!
But I've been saved by the fans that are not into it. So I'm glad he's being roasted despite being the former captain.
That is terrible. I feel really, and people are going to purchase it. That first of all, it looks like it's as if he was joking about it. In my opinion, I don't think that could be serious, but that sells because, and also, I think what he said, yeah, he
Point, though,
became.
it's less embarrassing if it doesn't look like he's taking it seriously. If he's being silly with it, like, yeah, I'm protected by this magic amulet, buy it. But like, you go to the website, they take it very seriously on the website. There's like a fake study where they like track your brain waves to find out how many like negative energy arrives when you don't have the magnet versus when you use the magnet. And some like, or sorry, I can't say magnet. I have to say
It's giving dark energy.
Oh, sorry.
See, that's how they get people. And then next thing you know, lobotomy.
Yeah, in that video above you, like they actually, try to show you scientifically how it works. Like it's not just magic. There's
Sounds about white.
scientists.
But they call it magic.
Yeah.
As an elite athlete, I'm always looking for every advantage. Adding in the Aries Tech products, just kind of confirming it, because a lot of times when we do these kind of things or when we use products like this, all right, well, it's just a placebo effect, and I didn't want to just believe that it's a placebo effect, which I didn't believe that. Now seeing it,
I didn't want to believe it was a placebo effect. Girl, you're giving away the game here. I didn't want to believe I was scammed and it was doing nothing, but I mean...
That's a black man.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of these are also...
Another one. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's
the thing with this stuff, though. Like, to me, this is ridiculous. At the same time, this stuff to me is harmless compared to, so much other crap. Like, this is... If people want to spend their money,
there he is.
If people want to spend their money buying like, these fucking amulets, then
He's on the
whatever.
side.
Like I'm not hurt by it. It's just disturbing when people that I otherwise would have respected.
I mean, yeah, because I don't like it because I feel like, but I know that they do this in a lot of religions. I know that even I just know they take advantage. So of course with Russell Brand, like you said, I guess he's shifting over into Christianity or whatever, to be a little
guys. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will get on there and prey on people, take their money, and that's what we're gonna see happen. People are
I'm seeing RFK there. I'm seeing Joe Rogan in that picture there.
Bro, Joe Rogan's gonna be hawking this in like a year.
Have you gone to the products list? There's some expensive ones.
Is there?
There's little cheap ones. There's base models, but there's more expensive, larger, more magical amulets you can buy. Like you can spend a lot of money if you need to.
Whoa!
What is this? They put it under skin. I'm confused. What's happening here?
I haven't seen that one. That one looks like it's an implant.
It's
What?
giving. Oh my god! I just want to throw up right now.
That's a joke, right?
Oh, biohacking. Uh-oh. Yeah, don't put these things
it is
inside
under
your
the skin.
Yeah.
No, Wes, so you saying this is a joke or it's real? Because that's
I don't
under
know
the
if it's
skin.
this
I
particular
don't know
one's
if
real.
it's
But
real. Yeah. Let me go back to the
Biohacking.
products page.
I just got to show.
Oh, they have a little keychain one for only $220. That's a steal.
That one's on the go.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
Thankfully, they have a
$350.
portable version because the amulet is just too fucking big. You don't want to lug
People
that
are
around.
dying in the world. People are hungry.
And this one, you can just put it on your phone and then voila.
Yeah, the girl had it on her phone. The placebo.
Wow. This is
How much
honestly,
do you
I
think that
might
costs
have
to
get
make?
one.
Like the phone one,
6 cents.
especially. Like
Maybe like
yeah,
5 cents.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
few cents.
around there.
The phone one is the best seller.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Fuck it.
I mean, this
Putting it all.
I mean, this is clearly
You
aimed
better
at.
not give them none of your money. Not a dollar.
This is clearly aimed at an audience that has a lot of money to spend, right?
It looks like
People
old
that are
lady
just-
earrings.
There's
Yeah.
the $600 pack. Yeah.
Oh, 590. What do you get? The daily duo pack. Oh, well, at least you can do interest-free payments. That's nice.
You
It's the
cover
daily
more- it's
essential
a-
pack.
Buy
Yeah,
a
yeah.
too.
divorce.
Cover
This
more
is the cheap
devices.
way to buy a divorce. That's all I'm saying. You
Right.
show up at home and you're like, I just spent $600 on magic amulets.
Wow.
Good job. Yeah, good luck.
So, look, I'm sold personally. I wouldn't. I think it's a little bit expensive, but if they bring down the price, I'd maybe get a couple of amulets. One for me, one for my my mom, maybe one for my dog to put on his collar.
Gotta protect your dog. You know,
Yeah.
they
Next
absorb
thing you
the-
know, your dog is gonna become crazy and then start attacking you. Then your mom, like you don't want that. Don't put that spirit on your mama. Don't put that spirit on
Oh
your
wait,
dog.
so you have the opposite view then? So you actually do believe in the amulet, but for negative energy.
Mhm. Giving dark energy. I told you, white witchcraft is giving dark.
Rebecca's not wrong. They're sponsoring a rapist, so I feel like
That is
if
true.
they're willing to do that,
jumping out of
sus.
trees.
To be
you know?
fair,
To
be fair, he has been protected. He has not gone to jail over it, so maybe the amulet is working.
Checkmate.
He's gotten away with it. Look at how successful it is.
Wow. And he's blowing up on Rumble and YouTube, and he's a truth teller now. That's why they're trying to silence him.
I'm a believer now. It's the amulet.
Yeah.
Protecting him.
Ugh.
All right, let's get a super chat.
Yeah.
Tyler Cross, thank you for becoming a new member.
No, let me go ahead.
Oh.
I got two.
So-
I know.
God forbid I get one in before you go, right?
Oh wait, hold
I'm outta
on.
here.
Before we get to super chats, there was
Oh my god!
How
They're
much
not
more
letting
do
me
we
go,
have?
baby.
What's the score in the Mets game now?
fart video, too,
What's the
after
score?
this.
What's the score in the Mets game now?
Interrupt him. Talk over him.
David, they're like, no.
It was. All right, you know what? Do the super chats, and I'll read this during my time at the end when everyone leaves.
Is it anything
When you're here
important?
till like 5 a.m.
No, so when I on my stream
If it's
last
quick, go ahead.
night, I received it's not really quick, but it's not long either. I received a request.
Talk over him, hurry.
So apparently there were a number of TYT moderators who resigned, and they wrote this resignation letter, and they were looking for streamers to read the letter that they wrote. And I said I would on one of my streams, and
It was like 5 pages long. All right, we could do this later.
No, it's not 5 pages. But I'll do it. I'll do it.
Isn't that old? I thought
This is like a
They're
year
doing that
old.
again?
This is recent.
No, this was during the Anna Kasparian birthing person
There was
thing.
a TYT mods that left after the initial kind of like turfy stuff.
Well, if it's old, then I was told this was new. I don't know nothing.
This
So
is
are they
not new at all.
doing it again? Are they
The
doing
letter
it-
hack
move on.
interviewed all of them actually for like a couple of hours.
Okay, Rebecca. You can read
Let's
your
move on
super
then.
Yeah, this is old as shit.
This is
Okay.
old as.
Don't be coming with
I don't know why
old
one of them
news.
reached out to me asking for me to read it though. So I guess if it's
They're
old,
trying to
it's
create
old. I don't
drama, is
know.
what it sounds like to me. I don't.
Yeah,
know
and
this.
you wanted us to do it over here on Leftist Mafia. Look at you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
nothing.
I don't
I'm
want
just
no
trying to-
drama
Keep it
with
to your own show, Matt. Keep the
Yeah,
drama.
I don't want no drama with TYT. Fuck TYT. Fuck Anna. But I don't want no drama.
I ain't scared of
okay?
damn one of them. But no.
Oh my God.
I am now monetized again, and so thank you. I just got
Oh,
two.
good. Finally.
I know, right?
Jesus.
That's good news, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing news.
So thank you, Omega Star. You got remonetized. That's what they said. And then Angela W. I may have to steal your white witchcraft line. Go ahead, take it because it's true. That's the white witchcraft.
I love it. That is perfect.
So I love you guys. Bye. I'll see you guys.
take
next
care,
Wednesday.
Rebecca.
Bye.
Good to see you again. Bye.
Bye.
Matt, I think.
I'm sorry. Just watching this game and
They're losing. Should I read
Guys,
the super chats?
two run homer. My God, 7-2. Mets are done. The season's over. All right.
That's depressing.
Is this for me? Tokyo Hans with the super chat. Asmongold is the streamer version of the a-hole boyfriend and girlfriend of a friend that you just don't get what they see in them. Okay, I guess.
That's fair. Yeah, that's really fair, actually.
I'm just so bummed about what's going on right now.
I'm sorry, Matt. He's just been deflated. The
We
wind
could do
taken
everyone
out of his
else's super
sails.
chats first until you compose yourself.
Another
This is probably
one.
for Matt too.
Yeah.
Okay, Tokyo Hans, whatever happened to the weekly uncanceling we did in the beginning of Leftist Mafia? By the way, just want to hear Matt say, "Go Dodgers." Fuck you.
We canceled that segment because we couldn't think of anybody to cancel.
Yeah, so we
Or
canceled. That's right.
uncancel.
So we canceled the segment.
Yeah, it got old quick. It was just a chore.
Yeah.
Kowalski with $9.99. Sing part 1 of 2. I am a Midwest farmer. I make a living.
You have to
Make
sing
a
this.
living. Oh, I have to sing. Oh, right. Okay.
No, you don't have to sing it.
I'm a Midwest farmer, make a living off the land. I
That's
ride a
pretty good.
jungle tractor. I'm a liberated man. I don't know why it's
with the
getting more
rain.
southern as I go on. It probably sounds gayer, but the rain, it hasn't fallen since the middle of July. And if it don't come too soon,
my crops will die. The bankman says he likes me, but there's nothing he can do. He tell me that he's coming, but the clouds are coming too. He ain't my friend and I'll ride again. Oh, wait, that's the end of it. I thought there was more coming. The clouds are coming too. He ain't my friend and I'll ride again. Maybe it's supposed to be like more sentimental. We were giving it too much of a banjo vibe.
He ain't my friend and a rider again.
Yeah, that's how you got to end
closure.
There you go. Nailed it.
Oh, this is not for me.
Bender.
It's not. Oh, it is for me. That's weird because I have a Kowalski post before this, but okay. A85 Ramos with a super
Was
chat.
it the singing?
I think so. Was that what you just read?
We just did it, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because it was a continuation of mine.
Ah, got it. Okay. Thank you, Kowalski. A85 Ramos. F that, Mike. I have plenty of evidence from the past year that shows Biden will not be truthful to his word.
Oh, same, brother.
Right.
Armando Hernandez with $5. Thank you so much. Hi, a Gen Z here. Early voting in Georgia tomorrow. Hopefully, if I wake up in time for Harris. I'm nervous. LOL. First time voting. Wish me luck. Hey, well, glad that you're voting. And yeah, good luck. Don't sleep through your alarm clock.
Yeah, don't be nervous. You'll enjoy it, I think.
Cold Dog with a super chat. I also like The Fifth Element. Great movie, by the way, Trump. What is that in reference of? I'm so out of it.
The Univision town hall where it was like the fire, what they do with the water, or no, what they would do with the water. I get awards for water, the way I mixed it with the sand. And he was about to just go on to name all of the fifth elements. The five elements, I should say.
Kowalski. Next 4 years, Trump will lose. Labor unions will gain greater power. The wars will end. We will go back to the moon. The climate will be fixed. I'm getting a goth farm wife.
Amen.
I was on board until you getting the goth farm wife. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that's going to happen. But I do like the positivity. Yes.
I feel like Kowalski is going to get a goth farm wife.
Maybe.
It can happen. It can all happen.
That sounds impossible. Or maybe not impossible, but there really can't be that many goth farm potential wives. I don't know.
Bitey face puppy guy with $10 Canadian. Thank you very much. The Heritage Institute and others will treat a Trump win as public consent for the ideas of Project 2025. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Chris Corcoran with $5. Appreciate that. Do you think the Harris campaign is worried about AIPAC dumping money into Trump's campaign if she breaks too early? This is the perfect time for Kay to break. I agree with that last point. I don't think that they're worried about that. I think they're worried about long-term AIPAC funding because it's too late for that to really make that big of a difference. Kamala has raised a lot of money. So it's not the AIPAC money in the short term. It's in the long term. It's the not wanting to piss off the Israel lobby for future elections and for the party apparatus in general. It's also a lack of a spine, generally speaking. Her being afraid, in my opinion, to do the right thing because she delusionally thinks that it's going to hurt her. It's a little bit of everything.
It's also, yeah, it's like the echo chamber. Like, this is what I think it's more really about the echo chamber than anything else. It's just like, this is what is normalized, is always protecting Israel. And if you're going to say anything about Palestinians, it's like couched in Israel has the right to defend itself. Like, it's just like the normal line that all of them do, that she is too afraid to buck in the middle of this election.
Right. Bitey face puppy guy again with another 10 Canadian. Appreciate that. Very kind of you. Trump's brain probably will not hold out for 4 years. We could end up with a super unpopular JD Vance presidency. How many realize that? That is horrifying. That is horrifying. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know if Trump would be worse than Vance. Part of me thinks he wouldn't be because he's younger and is less, like, he has brain rot, but not to the extent that Trump has brain rot, and Trump is legitimately in cognitive decline. But it's still a scary thought because JD Vance is also a fascist like Donald Trump, but he's much more covert with his fascism. So I think that with Trump, you would know what to expect. He'd broadcast every single thing that he does. With JD Vance, it would be much more insidious, and that does really worry me.
At the same time, I also think Vance would have less of a built-in support base. Like, people like
Right.
Trump, because the Trump character, Vance has no fucking charisma. Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like, if Vance actually took over, it would, I think the protests would be loud and there'd be very little defense of him.
That's a
Because
great
who the fuck
point.
is going to defend JD Vance?
Yeah, because Trump can get away with it because he has a cult of personality. JD Vance
Yeah.
just doesn't have that. He's part of the cult, but he's not the cult leader.
Yeah.
Bay photo with $4.99. Thank you very much. Speaking of conservatives dominating social media, don't forget to bet some crypto on scam political betting markets. Yeah, I am really annoyed by people posting poly market shit. I don't care. That is completely irrelevant.
I'm starting to believe that right wingers doing that are doing it as part of a sponsorship as well, because so many of them are constantly like, "Look at the poly market.
Oh,
Look at the
they
thing.
are, because
The poly market."
I've gotten
this has to be sponsored, right?
I've gotten emails from them, like they want me to sponsor. I'm like,
okay, that makes sense.
That's my
Yeah, no,
thought.
they have sponsorships for sure.
Because like it looks so clownish to keep posting poly market like percentage polling and then being like, "Whoa, this like election's over," and I was like, "Those are cryptocurrency betting markets.
It doesn't
this is
matter.
not reflective of anything."
Right.
Yeah.
It's a poll asking people basically, who do you think is going to win? It's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Archangel with $20. Thank you so much. That is a massive super chat. Very, very kind of you. I've shut out election coverage. Checking channels I follow annoys me, as no one knows. Yet many panic regardless of polls. I'm going to vote absentee and then tune in election night and hope the USA isn't totally brain dead. Archangel, I do not blame you at all. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I think I would probably completely check out or limit my political content a lot more during election years, because it is just so draining and I'm fucking sick of it. I'm so burnt out on this election.
I would still definitely vote.
Yeah, I would still vote.
Even if you can't pay attention to it, like, yeah, I would definitely.
100%. That's for Rebecca.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Fritza Jacques with $1.99. Thank you, Fritza. The American electorate has gotten dumber. We absolutely have.
Thanks for me. Quintessential, is Canada way better for living standards? That if you're from Detroit, Seattle, and somehow get a job in Toronto, Vancouver, there's strong reason to go. Well, I like Seattle a lot. I'd probably stay in Seattle. Detroit, I haven't been there enough. I was there once, and it wasn't a good time. I mean, I don't know. It depends, right? It depends on where you're living. It depends on the city. It depends on your situation. Also, it's not easy just to like move to a different country. Like, there's laws and shit. Like, you can't just be like, "Hey, I'm American, but I'm living in Canada now," or "I'm Canadian, I'm gonna live in America now." Like, so there's, it's not really a thing you can just do on a whim, unless you have, dual citizenship. Then I guess you can. But I don't know. Travel. Figure out where you enjoy living.
Bay photo with $4.99. Guys, I got to fart. Get the camera. Yeah, that's what the Bussin boy was doing. I think that whoever said that, also Matt said that. I think that was correct, because it doesn't make sense that somebody can hold a fart for that long.
We're still deeply looking into this.
That's enough of the fart conversation for me. Chris, with your I will try to say your last name, Chris Corin, with your $5 super chat. Thank you. Says, I think one difference between this election and Humphrey is that we live in the age of social media. If Harris breaks, more people will see it. Yes. At the same time, Trump breaks every other word, and no one seems to care. So it's just like, I don't know. It's really appears to depend on who you are and what people expect of you.
Hawk222, $5. Thank you for the Tua.
Sounds a lot more. Yeah, sounds a little too much like Hawk Tua to me.
Yeah. For Mike, what are your thoughts on Oregon Measure 118? I've seen so much opposition for it, but practically no support. Feels weird. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat. Yeah, I was really excited when I saw Oregon Measure 118, because for those who don't know, it's being framed as universal basic income for Oregon. But when you dive into the details, it's very sussy, and I think I'm probably going to vote against it. Basically, it's not UBI, it's a tax rebate in essence, but the problem is that they're going to fund it from our general fund, which means that it's going to pull money from schools, from healthcare, and it feels like a transfer of wealth in a weird way, not necessarily just to rich people because it's universal, but if they pull money from our general fund and that's depleted and everybody has money, just in their hands from this tax rebate, that's not really going to help. It's not going to get the help to people that they need. And it feels really regressive in a lot of ways. So I probably am going to vote against it. I have to look more into it. The idea of taking away money from schools scares me a lot. I don't think that's a good thing to do. I'm never against putting money directly in the hands of people. I think that's really good. So in theory, I like the rebate, but I do not like the idea of basically depleting our general fund resources, because you're in some dangerous territory. Sure, it's great that we all have some extra money. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have that, but not at the expense of schools and public services in Oregon. So I'm probably not going to support it.
Why are there like initiatives like this that seem, oh, like this sounds like a great idea, and then they have the worst possible fucking way of implementing it? Like, what? Who thought this up? Who thought this is?
I mean, it's got to be a way to deter people from wanting the actual thing, right? Like,
or it's maybe libertarian. It has to be a libertarian-led initiative, right? If that's their angle on this, like,
yeah. I mean, to be fair,
like
the way I was worried that they would use this as an excuse to cut social safety net services in Oregon, but I guess it's baked into the bill. So that way that can't happen. But there's a problem with that. I can't remember. I was reading an article on it that it makes it so that way there's an out so that way they can eventually, or that expires. I don't remember the specifics of it, but it just is, there's so much downside to it. And even though the upside would be amazing, and I think that just giving people that money would be so good, I don't know. It feels really suspicious. I would not want to risk schools getting underfunded. They're already struggling, and I don't know. So I'm really worried about this. I'm probably going to vote no. If there's a different UBI bill that ever comes up, I would love to support it. But the way that they're funding this, it's a catch-22.
Matt?
Oh, Tokyo Hans. Fun fact, the word fart is one of the oldest recorded words in the English language. In my opinion, the Bussy boy comment was eloquent in the older vernacular, but the accent was a bit off. Thank you, Tokyo Hans. It's a pleasure.
That's a positive twist.
Oh, look, the Mets have the bases loaded, 0 outs.
Thank you, Father Ted Clearly speaking.
I was just gonna say, I can't wait to see them leave this inning with 0 runs, because that's who they are. Oh my God! All right, go ahead.
They did a grand slam. Might happen again.
This is not the same Mets playing against the Dodgers right now. I don't know what the hell happened to them. All right, go ahead.
Who's this for?
Oh, this is for me. Thank you, Father Ted Crilly speaking. Really appreciate that. $13.99, very generous super chat. David and Lance, you have been quiet on the big election in BC tomorrow. Thoughts on who will win and how come such a psycho is in close contention? Also, screw Chip Wilson, absolute prick.
Right now the aggregate polling is showing a 4 to 5 percentage point lead, which is beyond the margin of error. So, and early voting is the biggest in the province's history. We have over 1 million people who have done early voting, which is pretty wild. So that's cool. More people voting is always good. Usually they vote a little in early voting for more left-leaning candidates. But the only reason the far right is competitive right now is because the centrists who really dictate the majority of the voters in the province, they lost their party. They just dropped out. And like a guy got kicked out of basically the Liberal Party. And after he got kicked out, the Liberals were like, that guy and everyone like him, they're unfit to govern. They're a clown car. They shouldn't ever take public office. And then they just disbanded. And so now there's a choice for everyone has to basically go to the left or the right. And that's the only reason why the far right have a candidate this wild doing that well, because they're absorbing all the, center to center right votes.
Rolando Capilleja, thank you so much for the $10. I believe D's are still 2 election cycles from winning a statewide election in Texas. I just don't see the enthusiasm for all red that there was for Beto in 2018. But great seeing Cruz panic/blame Mitch. I didn't see that he blamed Mitch McConnell, but it is nice to see him panic. I don't know. I tend to agree with you, Rolando. I think it's probably not going to happen yet. I think it's close, but we're not quite there. I would love to be proven wrong. I'd love nothing more than to see Ted Cruz eat shit.
I feel like we go through this every election cycle. It's like, oh, Texas might turn. It might be this time, and this doesn't happen.
Right.
Who's 2 election cycles from winning a statewide election in Texas?
Democrats in Texas.
But what did they put there? What
These
did
nuts? You can't get me, Matt. I've got the amulet to protect me.
Oh man,
That amulet works.
That's right.
I'm not wearing it yet, but I bought it when you guys were talking. So
it already has its powers.
Yeah. Wow, that 240 paid off. I swear to God, not sponsored yet. Anupam with $10. Appreciate that. Harris' strategy to court Republicans actually seems to be blunting losses. The number of registered Republicans she's on track to win has actually increased by 4%. The race is just close, not much, but due to what vote. Okay, I haven't seen that. If it's actually working, then I'll have to eat my own words. It does seem like it's a question of how much are you gaining and how much are you losing, and are you outpacing, the losses with the gains. It's hard to say because she's pissing off so many leftists and the enthusiasm is completely gone, and that's also reflected in the polls.
Yeah, and Democrats' women turnout is high. I just think that should be the focus of turnout, less on trying to court.
I agree.
Conservatives.
Yeah,
there are 3 of these. Andrew S. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for all of us. Wow.
Very kind.
Oh, thank you.
Omar Peoples with $10. Thank you so much. People should watch Mace Barber, Woo Amulet Fighter, fight Amanda Ribas. Best women's fight ever. Okay, well, there you all have it.
The best women's fight I ever watched was when I watched the next day without knowing it, when Ronda Rousey lost, and I didn't know she had lost yet, and I watched that fight. Like, it's the first time she ever lost. It was against, what's her name? I forget now. But that was a wild fight to see, and like not going in there expecting her to win because she had won every fight up to that point, and just seeing her get her ass fucking beat. That was such a good fight that it'll be hard to ever top that because she was undefeated, and then just seeing her go down really quickly was crazy.
Dirty Pirate 90 with $10. Thank you, Dirty Pirate. As a Tennessee Titans fan, I gotta say, in a world of Will Comptons and Taylor Lewins, Bussy Boys, be a Colin Allred. Yeah, definitely don't be a Bussy Boy. Or don't be like those Bussy Boys. It's fine if you're a Bussy Boy. I'm not judging. No homo. I'm just saying. Don't come at me.
No.
Just in
The
case.
fact that you feel the need to even say that is pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm not being homophobic. I don't have anything against gay people, but
you know some of them. You have gay friends,
Yeah.
Your husband's gay.
My husband's gay,
Yeah,
so
your husband's gay.
If I had a problem with it, I wouldn't be married to him. But Natalie Marie with $2. There's a fake AI vid accusing Walls of essay on X. I didn't see the vid, but I saw a headline about the fake essay accusation that was fabricated by somebody. Yeah, they're very desperate. It's very sad and pathetic.
Yeah, I heard of this. I'm like, I got to think about how do I want to spend my energy today? Do I want to go down this rabbit hole and understand what this bullshit? And no, I do not. I will just scroll past this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what AI is going to be used for. It's just spreading fake videos and fake news now. It's like the test use concept.
Yeah.
I saw the video. It's really bad. It's
Really?
like the most obviously AI video. The guy talking to the camera, apparently telling his story, and it's so fake. The AI voice is pronouncing like the name of the school he attended wrong, and like conservatives in the replies going like, "Oh, this is it. This is the big. This is it. October surprise. It's over."
Weren't they also duped by a little girl riding an alligator with a puppy? Like a picture of that from the hurricane. I mean, how by now?
I saw some other ones where there was an alligator carrying a child.
Right.
That was my favorite one.
They think this shit is real. I mean, fuck. If that fools them, then we are so doomed.
Who's this for? I'm gonna guess Bender.
It is Regex with a $10 super chat. Thank you. Hassan was trying to make the case that Biden's 30-day call for aid was intended to undercut the Harris campaign and throw the election because the party sidelined him. What do you all think of that? I mean, I got no clue what that old man is thinking. I got no idea.
I don't think he's thinking.
I think it's
Yeah,
like
I
every
mean,
press leak.
how
we've
does it
gotten
undercut
so far
How
where
does it
like-
undercut Harris? I don't
Well,
understand.
no,
how
no.
it
Do you know all the press leaks where it's just like behind closed doors, Biden is apparently using very strong language about Benjamin Netanyahu, even used the word asshole once, things like that. Like, I think it's all just feeding crumbs to be able to make it look not as atrocious as it is, which he's just endorsing and fueling and funding a genocide. That's what's happening. And then when they look back on it, they're going to go, well, no, see, they tried to do a pause of the one-time shipment of bombs. He did say that they've gone too far. Rafah was the red line. We did build that port, the $230 million port that ended up sinking, that actually was just used for war crimes, but we built that. He did say that in 30 days, if they don't do better, he's going to reassess. Like, all of those.
Yeah, but people are going to remember that, hey, after 30 days, they didn't stop. I don't think history is going to but they can't even possibly think that history will look kind upon them if they didn't follow through on any of these things.
But that's after the election, so
I also don't know how this would be undercutting Harris. Like, does Hassan think, like, in terms of Biden getting to a better position, I guess in his mind, than she's at, which makes no sense because she of course would be aware of that she's the VP. I need to hear what the point actually is to understand.
Yeah, because I'm with you, David. I don't know how it would undercut her, but
yeah,
I'm sure Hassan would have a much more like complex.
Yeah, I'm sure
breakdown of it.
Yeah, it's more in depth. Angela, thank you for your super chat, your Canadian super chat. Vance is evil, but not Miss Cabbage evil. Well, I mean, there's, I guess, gradations.
Right.
Otaku Dragon, thank you for your super chat. Says, I just barely stopped my family from sending the name of a liberal professor to Kirk's professor watch list. Stop from sending the name of a liberal professor to Kirk's professor watch list. What do you do when you're alone in an extremist Republican family and can't afford to move out? I feel like I'm the worst person to ask this question to because I don't have conservatives in my life at all.
Yeah, I can answer this question. I was not able to move out when I was dealing with extreme conservatism and evangelicism after I came out. You just got to kind of do your best to go along to get along until you are financially secure and can move out. And then you can kind of say your piece. But don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be unhoused or you could be threatened or assaulted. Just take care of yourself, even though it's difficult and you've got to bite your tongue a lot. Just don't do anything that could jeopardize your security. That's what I would say, because that's what I had to do, and it really sucks. But finding community online helped me, and you're doing that already. So it's not a great situation, but do the best that you can do. That's kind of what I did. And once I got out of that situation, then I started to try to process all the trauma that they caused me and are still causing me.
I will be right back.
Looney Tunes says, will you finally say go Dodgers? I mean, I just said it for you.
This one's for you, Matt.
Troy Mosin with a $10 super chat. The polls have been like a roller coaster ride this cycle. If Kamala stayed with her progressive message and not trying to court for right-wing voters, she would be up double digits. I don't get what happened. I mean, I know what happened. They took the advice of the same stupid consultants that always fuck it all up for them.
But why is the question? When they were up and it was going in the right direction, why would you change strategy?
They had everything
so
going
stupid.
for them. They had everything going for them, and then they were doing everything right. And then they indicted.
They indicted them.
Yeah, that's where my brain was going. I did everything.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
There it is.
I did everything right, and they disliked me. That's all I got.
This is my last super chat. Riker with a $5 super chat, the best super chat possible. PC Gamer reporting multiple updates to Concord on Steam recently. I saw those reports. I do not know what is happening. I went off camera for a second because I wanted to grab my Concord 2.
Damn.
This game is, I swear to God, people like hate on this game, never fucking played it. Most of them never played it, never even watched the reviews. Reviews that were even critical actually complimented how it played. It did play well. They just thought it got lost in like the sea of all the other free to play stuff. But it should come back. It's insane how polished Concord was at launch. Like I can't think of another online only game that launched perfectly the way Concord did. Like there were no bugs, no real issues. Servers of course, were fine because there weren't many people playing it. But just in terms of like the way it played and how solid and how polished it was, it's a incredibly, if you enjoy like Halo or Destiny PvP, it's like it's that kind of avenue. I hope it comes back. I guess it'll be free to play, which to me is an unfortunate thing, but it's kind of the reality of the current gaming landscape with online shooters. But I do hope it comes back. But I don't know if those updates, what that really means. So it's hard to read too much into that. But you never know. Maybe.
Silent Hill 2 is good, by the way. The remake.
Is it? Did you finish it?
Yeah. I'm on the very last part.
I want to play that so bad.
I want to check it out. I'm into Metaphor now though, which is going to be like an 80-hour game. So hunkered down and playing.
I'm playing TCG Card Simulator, which is just
the hell's that?
Pokemon card shop. That's it.
That sounds like it could be fun.
It's pretty fun. It's limited. It's in early access, but it's like Supermarket Simulator.
TCG Card Simulator.
Yeah, it's a little $13 game.
Oh, okay,
it's fun. You get to open packs of Pokemon cards and sell them.
Has a perfect score on Steam right now.
Yeah, there's even a mod.
14,000 reviews,
and you can make it just straight up Pokemon.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna dip out since that was my last one. Good night, everybody.
Take care, David.
See ya.
This one is gonna be for me, Angela. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Let's hope BC doesn't turn into AB, CUCP, BS. Let's hope not. All right, we've got the last two from Matt, and also Lance. You haven't read, right? Or did you read?
Yeah, I can read them off. It'll be pretty fast. Brian, tell me. Thank you so much for the $5 with the message. Just popping in for a quick reminder that Tim Pool soiled himself live on air. Have a good night.
Wait, what?
I don't know if this is lore or just shit posting. It says just popping in for a quick reminder. Tim Pool soiled himself live on air. Have a good night.
Like recently?
I feel like we would have seen that if it.
Yeah, I think it would have been a bigger headline. I think it's shit posting. Yeah,
I think it's shit posting too. Yeah.
Win, thank you so much for becoming a member. Angela W, thank you for the 279. Looking forward to you on the left of the box tomorrow. Thank you. I'm recording with them. I'm pretty excited. Looney Tunes 9000, thank you for the 199. Good luck on left of the box experience. Thank you as well. I appreciate that. Tracy Eva, thank you for the 199 pounds. Sending love and hugs from London. Peace. And thank you, Andrew S, for being a member for 7 months. And you can do the last ones, and I guess we could raid someone. Do you have anyone in mind?
That sounds good. So last two are for you, Matt.
The Mike Poole report with a $10 super chat. Good night, all. Make somebody smile tomorrow. Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
very nice. That's Tim Pool's dad. Very kind of you.
Oh, cool. I didn't even realize. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Parker with a $2.64 super chat. Wow. You see Jill Stein secured the David Duke endorsement. I did. I mean, I don't think you can judge people by who they're endorsed all the time. I mean, David Duke does not care about whatever it is that Jill Stein is. He's just anti-Israel because he's an anti-Semite, not because of the actual reasons to be anti-Israel.
Right.
He just hates Jewish people.
Yes, he doesn't care about Palestinian people. Right.
Yeah.
Obviously he doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to rate somebody on Twitch?
Benny is streaming. If you want to give Benny.gay.
Oh, wait, hold on really quick. I got Joey Bag of Donuts resubscribed with Prime over on Twitch at twitch.tv/MattBinder. Subscriber for 6 months. Thank you so much. And then that is it for me.
Benny is BENNIE dot spelled out gay. Yeah, we should rate her.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I gotta find. Hold on. Spell it for me again.
BENN. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. All right, cool. I follow them. Okay.
Yeah. We I don't think we've ever rated Benny before.
I have, but I don't
Oh,
know
you
if we have on this show.
Okay.
Andy Fitzgerald,
Yeah,
thank you for the last second other $5 dono. I appreciate that. Everyone go check out twitch.tv/benny.gay is where we're sending
Are we gonna
everybody.
press it now? We're doing raid?
I already did.
Good.
Oh wait, whoa,
And,
whoa, whoa,
thank
whoa,
all
whoa,
the-
whoa,
thank all the
what's going on?
moderators.
Hold on, don't shut it off yet, because I didn't press the button yet.
Oh, I lost my video by hitting the button.
All right, I'm pressing raid. All right,
All right.
everybody, peace.
Bye, friends. See you next